Stephanie Marazzo. How are you?
I'm good.
It's weird to say, how are you? Like, we just saw each other when we've been talking for a little while.
Right, exactly.
But I guess it's polite to say, how are you?
How are you?
Good. How are you? How you doing?
I'm so good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How was your flight?
It was bouncy for a bit there, but quick, though. It's an easy one, I mean.
How long was that? Like 2 hours?
I think it's supposed to be like 2.5, but like going back, I'll probably come in at like 2. It's always faster coming back for some reason.
Okay, cool. So if you try to keep it like pointing at you, I think it's a little better.
I think
even
it
with
is.
the papa, it helps, but we see.
Let me know.
So for people to know, Stephanie Marazzo kindly decided to fly in today just to help me with my new podcast and chill and hang out with me a little bit.
Yeah.
Chill sounds weird. I don't know. Hang out.
Hang out.
And you flying back home tonight, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you. You are amazing. You always been.
Oh, I try.
Very nice. So for the 2% of population that don't know who Stephanie Marazzo is,
Oh my God.
who are you, girl?
I'm Stephanie Marazzo. You may know me of Instagram, Stephanie_Marazzo. That's where I hang out the most. And then I guess I'm on most platforms now, but you and I barely use the other ones at this point.
I know.
You're on Facebook, but
Yes. Let me see. I am in Facebook, but through Instagram. When I post something on Instagram, I share it to Facebook.
Yes.
But I don't really go to Facebook too much. Now and then I go.
yeah.
Mostly when I need people advices. Like somebody recommend me a mechanic, put it
What
there.
do I do?
People seems to be more like willing to help you. Facebook seems more like family thing. Like even with friends or random followers, there seems to be more like people that want to be in contact with you. People like, I don't know
like
you, even when you don't know.
chat
Yeah,
of like somebody you would talk to normally, whereas like I feel like Instagram, somebody like will leave me like a whole paragraph of like, if I was, do I need a mechanic? Like, where should I go? Like 400 pages worth of info. I'm like, I didn't need the whole review. Just like give me like a blob. Like if I ask my family and friends on Facebook, you get like 2 sentences and like the business link, and you'd be like, that's what I wanted.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but basically, that's to say, sometimes I go to Twitter. You're in Twitter, right?
I'm on Twitter. I'm on Twitter pretty often just because it's like a little bit more fast paced than Instagram. And also Instagram does the things don't come in order anymore.
Oh,
you know
right.
what I mean?
Yes.
So Twitter does still. So I pay attention to that a little bit more. I'm probably on Twitter and TikTok most of the day to day. And then I post on Instagram like maybe once or twice a week.
That Instagram thing, it kind of was annoying, right? When suddenly one day you're checking and it's like a post from 20 hours ago, the next one is from like 15 minutes ago, the next one is from like 3 hours.
And they pretended for like a year that they weren't going to do that. Like there were so many petitions by like artists and things that were like, people follow us so that they can see our work and they can already tell in the algorithm. Like, remember when you would like post something and you wouldn't even see your own thing in the feed right away? And you'd be like, where is it? And then they were like, no, it has nothing to do with the algorithm. Like, just changing some little things. Like, there's nothing going to happen to the timestamp. Don't worry about it. And then they just like fucking rolled it out.
Do you think that there is people that actually likes that? It's better for them? Or love, enjoy that? I
can't imagine that it is. Like, I only follow 200 people. And like, I've been doing that for years. And I originally did it because like when I first got on Instagram and I was just like friending everybody, you'd see like maybe the same 20 people over and over again in your feed, right? And I was just like, I'm gonna like make sure I see my friends. I cut it all the way down to 200. And now I do like, if I'm gonna follow someone new, I unfollow something I haven't seen in a while. So I always keep it at 200, and I still only see now like the same 10 people over and over again. Every time I log in, it's like these 3 people posted yesterday, and you're like, yeah, but who else did? Like,
who is these people that you see often? What would you say is people that post so often that they're always like active by the algorithm, or they have so many likes and comments that algorithm give them like more exposure, or it's just rent?
I don't know like that my feed is even like a good example of that, because like half of the people I follow are just like my actual friends and family who have like 20 followers a piece, and then the other half of them are like famous people, like models, artists, and people who have like 1 million plus followers. And like those people, they'll show up in my feed, but not necessarily every day. Like I'll get like, I don't know, Tattoos of Instagram has like 20 to 80,000 likes on any given photo.
Wow.
But then like the next photo down is like my friend's like, I'm out walking the dog, and it's like 2 likes. And you're like, so how? I don't know. And they'll both be like hours apart. Like this one was posted 18 hours ago and this one was posted this morning. And you're like, what?
Yeah, it's so random.
So strange. Yeah, I don't like. I hate it. And then also everybody else is getting in trouble with the terms and conditions on there all the time. All my friends have their photos taken down, and they basically just like stopped using Instagram for the most part, and they're all on Twitter because like it's easier to be over there for like tattooed models specifically, where you're going to show a lot of skin anyway. Tattoos and everything showing up on a normal feed on Twitter, normal. But like somebody will post like a picture of them where they're just like holding their top, right? They have their whole chest tattooed and their arms and whatever, and they're doing this to cover your bits because you know you're not supposed to have that on there. But like perfectly covered, totally normal, and they'll be like, no, take that down for nudity. And you're like, fucking no, there isn't. Like it's implied, but you don't actually see anything. Yeah. And then they'll post like what's her name? Kim Kardashian will post something in like a tiny bikini. Just barely covering, or not even, like it'll be see-through ones where you actually like physically see somebody's nipples on like a popular famous person's page. And that's totally fine. Like if you report it, it's like nothing wrong with this photo. But like
yeah,
absolutely insane. I think a lot of people are kind of just like fed up with Instagram. Like I have been for a long time. I'm on there like twice a week.
I've been thinking a lot about showing my nipples, but I don't want to be
You're fine because they're male nipples. If I posted a picture of me topless with your nipples photoshopped over mine, it would be fine because they're male nipples.
Yeah, don't do that. It won't be fine. No, it won't be fine.
It won't be fine maybe like aesthetically, but like terms and conditions, they'll be like, yeah, that's totally cool.
That's weird, right? Like,
it's super weird.
I don't know, but male nipples are like, whatever, we don't care. But female nipples are like, whoa, don't cross the line.
How dare you? Yeah, on my news feed.
Yeah, right? It's like...
It's stupid. It's dumb. I don't know why. And then, but like, they've been like kind of, sort of backing off on that slightly.
What? When that happened, I wonder if that been like always through human history, or is something new that men can go shirtless everywhere and it's like whatever, and a girl shows half of the boob and it's like, whoa, girl,
I think
dress up.
A specifically like American thing, I think. Because there are the places, like there are shows in the UK that I've seen that like pop up on Netflix or whatever, and they're like science, but like medical based TV shows where you can like see everything. Boobs, genitalia, everything, right? And that's not like an R show. That's like a TV show that's on like normal TV. So like a kid could come across that. And because it's like learning, educational, it's fine. But like here, it would never fly. You would never see that show on TV. That's not gonna like pop up on Fox in the middle of the afternoon. Absolutely not.
But I always, in general, independently of TV or social media, I always been curious about it. I don't know why I never looked into that information, but I always been curious about, why is that like women cover? Guys, it's okay, show more. It's like I don't know who put the rule, a guy. So is that like the guy want to see guys but not see girls, or protect the women?
I'm sure to just control your body somehow. It's another rule to like women. I'm sure it's like an enforced modesty, probably.
Probably, right.
Men are like supposedly unable to control themselves. So like it's a rule to protect them from themselves.
I don't know. But it should be your own decision, right?
In New York here, you can go around topless in the city.
What?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah,
in the city, in the street?
Yeah.
In New York?
Yes, you can.
How do you know that?
They do photos and shit all the time, like models and things. You can be topless in New York City for, I think it has to do with a protest rule, I think.
Yeah, I don't know.
But you could be topless in New York City. Like other places in New York, I don't think so. But Manhattan itself, yes.
Maybe YouTube. I'm thinking I would like to read comments about people that know about that information. Maybe when this goes on YouTube, people gonna comment there like, dude, you're so ignorant. How you don't know? Oh, what the fuck sick guy you are. You want to see people nip? No, I don't want to see people nip. I just
wonder why. Why you can't.
Like I don't want to see people nip. I don't want, whatever. I just wondering, why is the difference?
I get you.
Yeah.
It's pretty, like it's a hindrance in our platforms specifically, like Instagram, 100%, and not on Twitter. That's fine on Twitter. TikTok, yes. That's meant for children, I guess. So that one makes sense. But like even like Twitch, like you're trying to get into on Twitch. Mm-hmm. And like I was seeing something on Twitter not that long ago where there was like a controversy. They have like a rule for like women streamers where you're like not allowed to show any nudity, obviously, but like you also have to be like dressed fairly modestly in certain aspects. But like you can get around that rule and do what's called like a bikini stream. So like the rule is like if the lady is filming something in a scenario where you would need a bathing suit, like being in a hot tub or being in a pool or at the beach, it's allowed because that outfit matches that background. It's not like a lady sitting in her room in like a bra or like a tiny bikini, right? So they've been doing like what I guess is called a hot tub stream. And like it's just like a lady doing like an interview or something from inside the hot tub, but like wearing the bikini. And like there were people freaking out about how they're getting around this rule, basically. They're just like, they're using it to their advantage or whatever. You're like, yeah, obviously they are. Like, what are you talking about? Like, yeah, that's how they're getting views, fine. It's not really technically affecting you, but like, so many rules.
So for that small group of people that might not know, so your career is based on internet, right? And social media, you would say?
I guess like it started out based on Instagram.
How long ago you started? About.
Like 2000.
When you started, when it just started the Instagram, when Instagram just come out, you started it right away with you.
No, I took like almost, I think like 2 years after Instagram like really came out. I wasn't really interested in being on there.
You were in Facebook.
I was on Facebook, and then I had like, I don't know, a random page that I created just to like share stuff back and forth with friends of mine. I think probably like because I left for college, like you basically were like, oh, I can send you these little cutesy images a little easier than like posting like a whole album on Facebook. Remember when you had to do that? Yes. So I think I probably got Instagram because of that. And then the modeling career took off because I posted to that. And that was when like tattoo models became like a huge thing all of a sudden. And that was like instant. Wow. And completely on accident. Like didn't intend for that at all, but it worked out.
Cool. Is this thing bothering you a little bit, like in the side too? It's okay?
Yeah.
Okay. I just feel like you like, come on, stay away from me.
I have my chair like twisted, so I'm just like leaning into it.
Oh, okay. Okay. I'm just trying to make you comfortable as possible.
If I wasn't, I would just like shove it. And tell
Please,
you, suck
feel
it.
free to move it as you, what?
I'm good.
Okay. So let's see. You became a paid model. It's fair to say tattoo model or just model?
Pretty much the tattoo specific. Yeah,
okay, let's say. So you became a paid tattoo model just out of Instagram, accident. Right?
Yeah.
Like just start posting and stuff. I'm just mentioning because might be people that, it feels like, oh, I always wanted to have a career as a model. And they try to apply another. Like nowadays, it's very fair.
I'm sure it's much harder to get in now. But like when I did that, it was completely accidental. I didn't intend for that to take off or anything. And I honestly posted that just to like show people. So like the original story is based on you actually.
Oops.
So you like, you did that one, I think I had the owl already. And I want to say we did one of a convention tattoo or something like that. And you would ask me if I could get like a solid photo of it, I think for your page. Mm-hmm. And my younger sister had just finished going through her like cosmetology school, and she was working at.
What is your sister's name again?
Jessica.
Jessica. Shout out to Jessica.
Yes. She had just finished getting her certification, and she was working at like a small family photo place. And I'd asked her if she could borrow like one of the nice cameras to just take like a quick picture for me one afternoon. And she'd asked me if we could like compromise and she could do my makeup and stuff for me. She was like, can I do your hair and your makeup? And then I'll take like kind of glamoury shots of her for her portfolio. Mm-hmm. And then she's like, and then I'll just get whatever you needed also. So she took like a few random shots of me just like posed against like a flat background. It was just like totally random photos. Like they weren't anything to like write home about, I promise you. But like she'd taken like 5 or 6 of them. I sent you whenever I got back. And then I took like 2 photos that she had taken of like my whole body, like sitting on the floor. So you can see like 2 or 3 on my one leg. I had like part of the arm, I think already. Don't even remember. I had no idea. But like I posted them on like a Monday. And then I basically got like 2 or 3 shout outs right away. And that was before like shout outs were a normal thing you were doing. Mm-hmm. Like somebody screenshot it and it popped up somewhere else. And it got like 5,000 followers overnight. I was like, whoa, where did that come from? And then it was shared to Pinterest and it popped up on like 30 different boards. And I was like, what the like hell is going on? And I instantly, like by the end of the week, like by Friday, and I'd already had like 3 different agencies contact me via like DMs.
Wow.
And I was like, that was never my intention, but I was like, that sounds like fun. I think I kind of did it thinking it would help Jessica in that scenario. I was like, yeah, like I can bring her. She was like my makeup artist for the longest time. I would bring her to like all shoots. She would do other people's. Like if there were going to be me and multiple girls, I'd be like, I've got that under control. Like, don't worry, my sister will do your makeup for you. Nice. And she did. And like she was really helpful with that. But like honestly, never was my plan at all. And basically I kept going with it because I moved from New Jersey to Florida.
You were still in New Jersey
back
then.
I didn't have a job to move down to. So I was like, well, whenever I like start figuring stuff out, but I like didn't know where anything was. I moved into a completely strange town to me. So I was like, I'll just like get some random money coming in with the modeling stuff while I set up. And then it ended up being like a full-time thing and I didn't have to worry about it. And I was just like, well, I'm going to stick with this.
Wow.
Yeah.
Super cool, right?
Yeah.
It's crazy how that's similar how tattooing happened to me. Meaning I wasn't expecting to be, I didn't even thought about being a tattoo artist. I was trying to be a painter, but I was broke and I needed some money. So I was doing some tattoos and that I learned because my brother pushed me to do it. Like, you should do it. You know,
I think you told me that once upon a time.
Did I?
You had like sketches or drawings that you had been showing me, and I was like, and you never like thought you would turn that into tattoos at all. And you're like, no.
Somebody offered me a random job one day, like, oh, they're looking for a tattoo artist. First time I walked into a tattoo shop, it was to apply for a job. I never been in a tattoo shop before.
Did you have?
I actually went once back in Venezuela. There is this great. He's a body modification artist. His name is Emilio. He's well known in Venezuela and in the world. Very cool dude. Being a bunch of TV shows and stuff. Anyway, so I went once to his shop. I remember now.
But you didn't get anything?
No, I wasn't planning to get. I didn't have tattoos or anything. I was looking for skateboarding stuff. I was in Caracas, in the capital of Venezuela, and then his show was very known. So I was like, oh, let me get some tattoo magazines.
Gotcha.
I was kind of starting to tattoo in my house in Venezuela. Didn't know anything about it. But always for me was like something fun to do to my brother and my friends. I wasn't like, I want to be a tattoo artist. I need to learn. It was just, let's do this, whatever. And, but then I was broke and somebody offered me a job here in America already. And I was like, okay, let me do it for now.
Yep.
While I find something. And then
you fall into it and you're just like, this is working.
12 years later, I'm being tattooed.
Exactly.
It's crazy, right? Well, sometimes I spent so many hours trying to find something to do with my life, right? Mm-hmm. And nothing really got, until tattooing clicked.
Yeah.
So it was something I wasn't expecting to happen. So it was modeling to you, right?
Yeah, I went to school for graphic design and I was like already kind of realizing that was not going to be something I wanted to do. Because it's just like a lot of, you work really hard on something just for them to be like, okay, I want to change this, and this. Yeah. And you're like, no. And I just like hated that aspect of it. You would work like all week on a project and your teacher would be like, no. And just like, well, that's their interpretation of like whatever you made, right?
Do you know I'm a graphic designer?
Do what?
Do you know I am a graphic designer from college? Like I graduated as a graphic designer.
You told me that, yes.
Yeah, I think so. Right? Like we spoke how many hours we have tattoo you?
Oh my God, I know. We have so many conversations in the bank.
I know.
Oh my God, yes.
But yeah.
I don't remember what you were telling me you put together.
Yeah, no, probably one of those conversations.
One of those. Or maybe it had to do with one of your art shows, maybe? Flyers for an art show or something. Because I have, you sent me like a card for one of your, I think your gallery opening in your shop. You did like a fundraiser or something, and I have like it's on my fridge.
Oh, you're so nice.
It says your name on it with like a couple of your pictures. I think it's for a gallery opening, like a party or something you did.
Probably, yeah.
In the shop, and I was just like, and then the picture of me is on there.
Oh,
I was like, oh, I'm keeping this.
I was so flattered. Like, oh, for me, you keep because you were there.
It has your name on. It has there's the picture of me. I think there's one of like a bird. I can't remember. And I think there's one of like you have these kind of female shapes, and I can't remember which exactly one is on there. I'll have to like take a screenshot of it. It's like from like 4 or 5 years ago. You sent it to me.
Wow, cool.
I think it's your current shop.
Yeah.
So probably when you opened it and you did that.
Maybe the painting idea of you with the apple.
That one, maybe. Yeah, that one for sure. But I don't remember what else is like on the card. There's like it's like 2 or 3 photos lined up with like a big thing about your name on it and like whatever's happening. And then the back of it has more information with, I think, your like social media on it. You don't remember making it at all?
No, I don't. I also have done so many things for,
I'm sure.
for the shops and
I know.
all of that.
I get your little like pop-ups on Facebook. Or I find them, I'm always like, oh, I can't go, but.
Yeah. What was the other big platform before Facebook? MySpace. Now when people mention Facebook, I feel like old. Like when you mention MySpace.
Did you see something like, I want to say it was on Twitter, but like someone younger posted, you should be able to like add music to your Facebook page so that people can listen to your favorite song when they go look at it. And they were like, oh my God, they don't know what MySpace is. I was like, that sounds right.
Wow. So, you are sponsored, right? You modeling.
Yeah.
You are sponsored by a company, or you belong to a company?
I was part of like 3 different agencies for a while, and like H2 Ocean Models, sponsored by them. I do like random stuff for Ink Magazine every once in a while. I was doing like posts for them, I think, on like their Facebook page back when people would do live shows. I was doing some of that.
Ink Magazine, they're nice people.
Yeah.
Super cool people.
They have a very lovely lady who was working there a while back named Jessica in like publishing, and I would email her all the time. She was super helpful.
Awesome.
I don't know if she still works there. I haven't heard from her in a bit, but she was like always my correspondence person. If I couldn't get an answer from somebody, I'd just be like, I'm just gonna go to Jess.
Cool. You were telling me a little bit earlier today about magazine cover and magazines stuff, right?
Yeah.
So you've been in a few magazines. How is that experience? I mean, there is a lot of people out here in the non-modeling world that we have all the kind of curiosities in our brain, you know? Like how you get to be in a cover magazine. It's crazy. You started just posting random photos on Instagram, and then you became a model, and then you in magazines of like Inked magazine, one of the greatest tattoo magazines ever.
Alongside Christy Mack.
Yeah.
You're like crazy. I think like, so people like who do Inked, usually they contact you unless you have like some feature you're applying to do. But a lot of times they'll contact you. So I didn't have to like go searching for that. But like a lot of covers also, they'll ask you if you want to be like part of a project or if you want to submit something for a cover for like a theme or something like that. So I mean, that is typically how I go about it. Other times like your photographer might have not like necessarily like a hookup, but like they've heard about sending it to A, B, or C, and they'll do that, and they'll send out a whole set. And the magazine will yes or no it. And if they take a couple things from that, then the photographer will get back to me and be like, by the way,
that's cool.
You're going to be in this.
So you also it means that also you've been through photographers. Like the photographers do the photo shoot and then they send the photos.
Yeah, they can. I mean, sometimes models will send out their own stuff, like online magazines, like a zine, I think. You can send in your own photos. Like you can submit stuff. Like what's that magazine on Instagram? Sour magazine. Do you know that one?
I guess no. Sorry, Sour magazine.
They have a lot of like themed. I guess each one is like its own category. So like some of them will be like, I don't know, sports or fitness or something like that. And so like if you're like a model who works out and you have like nice photos of you, you can submit them and they can say yes or no.
But this is a physical magazine too, or
you can read it online. So they have like I guess it's in like. Not iCloud. What is the word I'm looking for? I don't know. You read it online. It's got its own name. I forget what that was. But you could buy it from their website and you could get a physical copy of it.
They also do the physical.
Yeah, a lot of like I think it's what you would technically call a zine is like an online magazine. You're like supposed to technically read it online. Some of them will provide you with like a hard copy if you ordered one, but they're like made to order, not like you're gonna get it in a shop. So
this magazine is not like a tattoo magazine or a tattoo models magazine. It's more like we cover everything magazine.
Kind of.
But it's oriented.
I think Sour, I want to say, might be tattoo oriented. There are some that are just like whatever. Like there's another online one. And then Elite, maybe? Elite magazine. I think they've moved basically online also.
Because they were physical. I remember that Elite.
Right. So, but they have just like any kind of female models. And I think they do random issues with men in them. But like you could tattoos or no. But as long as it like fits, I think it's another like theme issue type thing. So they'll be like, oh, we're doing tattoos in this one. So they'll contact like random tattooed models that they're hoping to get images from necessarily. But
it's an interesting concept because, you know, back in the day, you were a magazine, you were a tattoo magazines, a bike magazine, art magazine.
Yeah.
Very specific,
very
right?
specific.
But
And
if you
can
have
still
this
get
kind
that,
of,
but-
if you have this kind of like just this week we're gonna be this kind of magazine, that week we're gonna be that kind of magazine. Interesting, right?
It definitely opens it up to more people. So I mean, it's less work for them probably. But like, what is that magazine? Camp Out magazine. They do like sexy pinup-y like style ladies, and they have like a very kind of lovin' 70s type of vibe to them. And so like they pay for photo shoots. They don't like, I don't think they accept submissions. I don't think they do. But they have like a whole idea lined out, and they'll find models that they want to use in that. I don't know if it's like the issue. I think they only do them like 2 times a year or something like that. I don't think they print all the time, but they also do like a big calendar and stuff. And like those are so cute. I love those.
Cool.
If you've seen those photos, they're precious.
You do your own calendars, right?
Yeah.
Nice. That's good, right?
Yeah.
So you have a specific photographer that you use all the time, or you change every year?
For like the last 4 years, I think I've been using my friend Jessica Christian, and she's.
It's a lot of Jessicas around you.
I know, actually. I'm
How's
starting
that?
to think of that, and maybe I find them. But she's out in California now, but she's originally from Okeechobee, I think, in Florida. So like I think I accidentally found her through somebody else's photo tags, and I was just like, I'm gonna be available, and her and I are like so close now. So
nice.
anytime she's in Florida, we try and shoot. And so she's been doing my calendar for me for years, but she, because of COVID, was stuck in California this year. And so a friend of mine in Tampa took my photos for me, Blake Cortez.
Blake Cortez?
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
He's in Tampa. So he did them.
What would be like a cool advice for somebody that want to get, like, let's say, girl, boy, whatever, want to get into modeling? Okay, let's see first. In your personal experience, you will say there is a lot of creeps out there. Like, listen, I'm a photographer. Let me take those photos because it's gonna be for you, whatever. And then you like get there, and the guy's like, you don't want to be there. Is it look sketchy? Is a lot of that out there, or it's not really?
It depends. Like,
in your experience.
I guess not necessarily in mine, because like originally when I first started getting into it, a lot of them were coming through the agency, so like they're already screened. So I didn't have to worry about that. But I definitely get people who will just like comment and be like, if you're ever in Louisiana, I shoot whatever, and you'll go to their page and you're like, no, no, absolutely not. Like I would not. But like there was also a time there where I was getting like so many random requests. Like if I'm going to California or something like that, you get random people who'll be like, if you're free or if you have time, like you want to do a trade shoot. And there was a time where I was basically just sending back, like, I'm only doing paid work right now. Like, I just don't have the time. And so that, like, filters out people, too, because they're like, well, I'm not paying a model. And you're like, cool, I'm not paying you either. So it doesn't matter. But, like, when you're first getting started, you definitely should look into, like, paying somebody professional, like, who is established, who has, like, a very specific look. Like, so, like, there's so many artists that have, like, you see their photo, you know that's them. Like Hugo V. Do you know who that is?
Say it again?
Hugo V.
No.
He was, like, very popular. I don't know if he still is. I haven't seen his work in a while. But he was very popular there for a while. He was, like, traveling the United States with, like, I think his ex-wife at the time. They were doing, like, couple together. I think she was doing makeup, maybe. So, like, they were working as a team. So, like, they would be like, oh, I'm going to be in Orlando. We have like 8 slots open. They'll be like $600 a piece. And you're like, okay, that's like a bit high. But if you're like trying to get solid photos from somebody who's going to give you like good, high quality photos, high res photos, they know how to pose you even. So like if you're getting started, like the two of them would set you up and be like, okay, pose like this. You know, sit in this position and make sure you like, you know, tattoo specific, like, you know, make sure you point that tattoo out so it's not getting covered or hidden or like under your hair or something like that. So like the two of them would help you do that, which is super beneficial when you're like first getting started. Or if you like can kind of befriend other models that are like already doing something, a lot of them are willing to give you advice. So if you know, poses, wardrobe, be like, what do I bring to a photo shoot? Like they're more than willing to help you out. So I mean, there's a lot of advice out there. It doesn't necessarily mean like it's gonna work out for everybody. But like, you try really hard. If then you're bound to get something. You can get things published pretty easy if that was your goal. Like for some of the submission things, as long as it's like a high quality photo. Like if you would just want to get your photo in a magazine, like you could do that.
It's kind of easy, you would say.
For some of them, like online magazines that are taking submissions. Yeah, you could get in there if you have like a good enough photo. If you paid someone well enough, who knows what they're doing, and you do a good job, they'll take it.
Yeah, you might be lucky enough to find somebody to trade that is starting, but already have the eye and the quality in their job.
You could try, you could try trades. The only thing with that sometimes is that like, someone will get started and they'll have a pretty good success on their end, and then the photographer will like either not want you to use your photos for something, or like because they're theirs technically unless you bought them from them. That's theirs copyright wise. So like sometimes I've seen like people, not necessarily like Ink Magazine, though I've seen them have photos removed before off of their Instagram and their Facebook, but like something will get posted there and the photographer will be like, I didn't tell you could like share that without my print on it, like your watermark. Something that
I don't understand, and I mean, I guess it's one of those kind of things that, whatever. Something that I don't understand is how tattoo artists are complaining like, oh, she got in that, cover, but it's my tattoo. You gotta pay me or something. I don't get that. I never got it.
You for it? I don't know about that.
Or they never asked me for my permission, so you have to remove it or something like that. I feel like once I do a tattoo, that doesn't belong to me anymore.
No, absolutely not.
I would say a tattoo never belongs to me. At least that is on my body, I guess. But
like
I'm just a kind of medium between the materials and the client, and I'm just passing one to the other one. But I don't feel like own the tattoo.
No, maybe
once
like
you
the
pay me,
idea,
that's yours.
the design of the tattoo, is like yours. So like if somebody takes your tattoo and just like puts it on somebody else. Like that's kind of lame, obviously.
I guess it's more lame, but still, it's not like I gotta go and sue somebody.
You're not gonna be like, you owe me money. Like that doesn't make. I've never heard of that. Like a tattoo artist freaking out.
Oh yeah, I hear complaint. Actually,
no.
I tattoo a couple of people that are in movies and stuff, and they're producers or directors or somebody's asking them to give me paper to sign where I give the permission for the tattoo to be on the movie or it's TV show, and I never got that. I did a design of a tattoo for a movie too, for a friend of mine. I just did a design because they're going to use temporary tattoos to make it look like whatever. It was part of the club that everybody got the tattoo. And they also asked me can you sign this paper because you designed it so we don't have to get in trouble down in the road or something. And I never got it. Maybe that I was, not even. I don't get it.
Maybe, I feel like...
Still, I respect if somebody is a tattoo artist and they want to it's my tattoo, I did it, I own it, but... Whatever, it's your opinion. I kind of respect it in UN, but my personal opinion is like it doesn't make sense at all.
No, I've never heard of that. That sounds crazy. Like for the temporary tattoo, maybe like I see that as like because of like a credit, I would think. That's why you're signing it off being like this person made this for this exact reason. Yeah. So like that makes sense to me. Like you're being credited as the artist for that thing. But like like what's his the Rock has like that huge thing on his arm. He's got that huge tattoo, and that's that famous person from Vegas, I think. I don't remember the artists, but he's very famous.
The new one? Mm-hmm. The new one?
He did the cover up of like he had that, it was like a steer or a bull or something like that. And he did like a full cover of it, and there was like plenty of photos, plenty of videos. Mm-hmm. But there's no way he like is getting paid after the fact for that. No.
But he had a old bald head or bald skull or something there, and he got covered by Nico Hurtado.
That's the one.
And he's in California.
I was thinking he was in Vegas.
No, in California.
Oh, okay.
But now Yomiko is going over, Yomiko Moreno, another amazing artist, one of the greatest. He's going over to add more details, make it more strong, more real or something. I don't know exactly what was the process of thinking, but he's going over again. He put like 20 or 30 more hours into that tattoo. What? Yeah, and Yomiko is in New York.
So
he's a Venezuelan tattoo artist.
A second pass over a finished tattoo.
It happened.
Up. Yeah.
It happened.
So now this is like his third sitting on that same spot, technically.
Technically, but I'm not, to tell you the truth, I'm not sure if he already put like 2 or 3 more passes in top of that. But it's layering and it's details and stuff like that to make it look, I don't know, better or more detailed. And not saying nothing bad about about Nico Hurtado, that is one of the most amazing tattoo artists ever. He's just adding more work.
Adding to the top of it.
The Rock wanted it more in certain style that fits more Yomiko style, because it's about styles at the end of the day. You know, it's not like one is better than the other one. It's just different styles.
He was working on, he just went straight over that other one too. He didn't like have it gone over like a laser or anything. It wasn't faded. He just like went straight over that. So I'm assuming that
probably needed
it would age up a little bit after it healed, and you'd be like, okay.
When it heals, sometimes the old tattoo shows through a little bit too much. You know, that's part of the problem with the cover-ups. And you don't have any cover-ups on your...
I have like a little one on the back of my leg, but
you had a wart there?
No.
Oh no,
I had like lettering in the one spot, and it was just like it started to break up in one spot, and it didn't look great. And instead of like going over it and fixing it, I was like, I'm just gonna put a whole new tattoo there.
But the new tattoo is huge, right?
Yeah. Well, just because I had like a big area to fill, it's like literally from the top of my knee in the back all the way to the top of my thigh. Because I had the year before, I had gotten this full thigh done. And you did the outside and the inside for me on this one. And so I have just like a rectangle in the back that like didn't have anything. And I was like, let's throw something in there.
So you have a phoenix, or is sort of bird?
The bird is like a blue heron.
Oh,
it's not like an exact bird. She like kind of did a little of everything. So it's got the long legs and the feet, and it's standing on like a little skull on the back of my knee. And then so the head comes up, and the wings are kind of like pressed behind it. So that the wings, the shape of the feathers are what is my cover up part. But like the whole rest of it is just by itself.
I don't remember seeing that tattoo. I think I saw photos of that, but not seeing it done. I don't remember.
I don't think I've seen you in person since it's been done, honestly. I think that's like 4 years old. So
when we did you back?
Before that.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it was done already.
And you has what you have in the other leg? It was a guy from Tampa who did it?
David Bruhel. He did it's a big harpy.
You said David Bruhel?
David Bruhel.
Shout out to David Bruhel.
Shout out to David.
And the girl who did the other
whole thing on the side. This is Allie. I don't know her last name. She goes by Tattoos by Allie on Instagram.
Tattoos by Allie.
So she did that when she was at Amulet Tattoo in St. Pete, but I think she moved to Canada. So I don't know if she was there. I don't know if she's from Canada and came down and went back, or what that situation is, but she's definitely not at Amulet anymore. But I think that shop is one of those ones where like a lot of people kind of rent in and out spaces instead of having a normal staff. But David is at Red Letter 1 in Tampa. He's always there. He's super good. I love him. And that shop is like gorgeous. It's so pretty. It's like a 2-story building, a nice old building in Tampa. And they each have their own room, like a real room, which is like an old house. And he has just like all of his art on the walls. He does amazing artwork. So he has
he's neo-traditional, right?
Yeah, a lot of little paintings and weird stuff. And he has like, I think like taxidermy stuff in there and like butterflies, all kinds of stuff. And it's just like being in his like room is like an experience in itself.
Cool.
He's so chill.
I visited my friend's shop in Denton, Texas. That shop is owned by Rembert. I think Francisco too. Oh, anyway, my friend Jose is the one that I knew for a long time before I went there. So I got to the shop through him for a guest spot in Texas. But the point is that it's this artist, and sorry, I don't know his name. He works in one of the, because that shop is huge. It's like 2 stories too, but super long. I don't know, like probably 20-something artists in that place.
Oh my God, crazy.
It's huge. It's super nice. A lot of nice people. But this guy has his room. He do traditional. So he got his room set up. Also, it looked like I don't know, like a little museum almost. So he has a lot of antique stuff. Everything is super dark. It's super cool how he got it set up.
I love that. I love everybody setting up their booth area and having like kind of their own vibe as you go past each booth. You're like, wow.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool, right?
Yes.
You spend so many hours in those places working that rather make it your own. Also,
that's your cubicle.
Yes. And also the people that comes to visit you get a vibe of who you kind of are.
Yeah. And also, like, if you're hanging, like, you do all your little paintings up there. You have, like, very little ones from the last time I saw, all framed, and they were, like, staged together. So, like, that visually, you're like, okay, I can get, like, what his style is, like, what you like doing. Whereas, like, if you just walked into a random empty room, you'd be
I know. I always been like, I want to be minimalist in my place. I want to paint everything in a light color.
Oh my God. I don't think you can
good
handle
lighting
it.
and clean. But yeah, I get overwhelmed. When it's so empty, I get overwhelmed.
Yes. No, you like little stuff. You had your computer had little stuff all around it even. And it was just like, that's like your first thing when you would walk in is the desk. And like the desk itself is like clean, but then you would look at your computer and you had like little stickers and things around it. I was just like, this is your computer right here.
It's cool, you know, because again, I work 6 days a week most of the time. Now I'm trying to work 5 days. But you're there all the time, and you know you want to be surrounded by things that you like.
That's your other home.
Yes.
Yes.
The place where I live is kind of my other home.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Where my family is.
That's where I sleep sometimes.
Where I sleep, yeah. Where my family is.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, wow. So what else?
What else?
I was asking you, so when you moved to Florida?
Like the whole family kind of picked up and moved. Like after my older sister is a couple years older and she went to Tampa University. And so my parents had like been down there visiting and they were like, we should move to Florida from New Jersey. So
they were already retired back then?
No, my dad was definitely still working. I think my mom retired pretty much like after Jessica graduated her certification. Mm-hmm. And then I think we were there for maybe like another year or so. But then they were ready to move right away. They were like, as soon as you guys are done with school, like, we're going. And so my mom, we're super family oriented anyway.
No, nice. Me too.
Yeah, I know. She like would never have let that happen if she didn't think we would follow her. And of course we did. Like I moved down there right away. Jessica, I think it took like 2 years to get Jessica to come down there. But all three of us now are like in a small triangle. And then my mom is less than 7 minutes from my new house.
Oh, that's so nice.
I know.
Right?
But yeah, so Diana's maybe the furthest away. I think she's maybe like a 30-minute drive.
Oh, still, wow.
But like barely. And it's only because you have to go across. Tampa Bay is obviously a bay shape. So to get from one side to the other, you have to go on one of the bridges, which takes you out a little ways.
Oh, but, okay.
Like she's right in, she's like in the St. Pete area. Mm-hmm. Jessica's close. My mom's
St.
right there.
St. Pete is a nice area.
St. Pete's so nice.
That's where Dali Museum is, right?
Yeah, that's where you were at. Yes, exactly. That's like the very end of the downtown kind of scene that is like maybe 2-3 blocks from Central Ave, and that's where they have like all the new shops. That's like our hipster type of area right now.
It was like that when I went there, right?
Yes, they've been like completely revamping that. Since I moved down there, they've added so much new stuff, like so many new stores, new storefronts. There's a ton of tattoo shops. There's like a lot of artists kind of influence in that area. Like a lot of craft type beers and things come in there. A lot of like cutesy bars set up with like fun names like Blue Goose and something like that. And like artisan food.
Cool. Coffee place.
Tons of coffee.
Barbers. Okay,
yes,
so
it's very cutesy, very hipster. But like we also have like a very big gay scene in St. Pete and in Tampa. There's a lot of like LGBTQ plus stuff going on in Tampa right now for Pride Month. I don't think they're not doing the parade this year. I don't think because of COVID stuff.
I just heard there was something that happened in Florida, Miami. Maybe in the parade somebody ran over people.
I did see that. Yeah, that's Miami. That's pretty far away. People, I know, but I think St. Pete itself like has been kind of like separated from a lot of the COVID stuff. I don't know if it's just like we've been lucky, but like immediately when they were like, okay, we're shutting everything down and people are going to be wearing masks 24/7. And if you don't have to leave your house, don't. All the people in my area were like, okay. And they completely followed that right away.
That was like March 2020, right? When everything started.
Yeah, right. So actually that happened the weekend after we moved into our new house.
Oh.
So we had like literally just set up and they shut everything down. So we didn't like meet our neighbors or anything for a while because like nobody's outside. Andrew has been working the whole time, but other than that, like we pretty much were only going to the store if we had to. So I mean, like everybody in the area has been like pretty chill. They're trying to follow the rules as much as they can. But like now that the restrictions are lifted, I can see that there's like a lot of new visitors coming in. There's already like a new vacation time happening. Nice. I think spring break on has been kind of like, here come all the visitors. But
it was busy in a spring break already, your area? We went to Miami area in Florida and it was packed.
So Clearwater Beach and St. Pete Beach are always like big hot spots for spring break anyway. Mm-hmm. And they had, I don't remember if they like closed part of the beach or something like that, but they were like trying to limit the amount of people showing up because it was just like insane. But Tampa itself like is usually all right, unless there's like a huge thing happening, like a convention or something. And when we have hockey games and stuff like that, people come in the downtown area. There's a lot of people, but they were trying to restrict things as much as they could. They canceled so many conventions and things last year. So I mean, it's been pretty relatively sound down there.
It just happened at Tampa Tattoo Convention. Did you check it out?
I didn't check it out. We're still like trying not to necessarily go out if we don't have to. We just got I just told you in the car that we had our second shot like just coming up. So we were still trying not to go out if we didn't really have to.
The perception that we have up here about Florida is that was like nobody used a mask ever. I mean, in the beginning, but
it depends on where you're at for sure. I mean, there's a lot of people who are like, DeSantis is like saving Florida by making all these no mask rules and whatever. And you're like, okay, but like in my area, we've been following the rules the whole time. Like there were so many times where we go out to the store and there'd be like 6 cars in the parking lot and that was it.
Wow.
Yeah, people were like really on it right away around Tampa Bay. Like I feel like it could have been super bad if they wanted it to be, but it wasn't. And now that things are kind of opening back up, everything looks pretty normal. There's still a lot of people wearing masks though, just out of their own preference. And like I wear my mask in the supermarket still, but like so many people are coming back out finally.
I still wear the mask, and it's a lot of people not wearing it anymore, or there is a lot of people not wearing it anymore.
Yeah.
And to tell you the truth, I don't even know what I use. I kind of don't need it, but I just got kind of used to it.
Yeah.
I never was bitching too much about it. Like, I hate it. I never care. The only thing is annoying a little is my mustache or my beard. Sometimes it goes up and tickle my nose.
I bet that makes
oh my God. Oh, it's super annoying.
And my mom wears glasses, so there would like fog up her glasses. So I know that's kind of annoying. But like I never had a problem with it. And I love the fact that like you don't have to like worry about getting ready in the morning or anything. You just like throw your mask on and just go out the door and look normal. Because everybody looks like that. And like I like the fact that you can get like cute designs and things for them and like kind of make it part of your outfit. I think that's so cute. And like I think it's beneficial, honestly, to be able to just like wear it whenever I want now that they're like normalized. Because like they do that overseas in Asian countries. They'll like wear them as their own like thing.
They've been wearing it all the time, right?
Yeah. Completely separate from the COVID stuff, obviously. But yeah, that's the same deal. Like it'll match their outfit or something. It'll be part of like a whole look. And you're like, that's adorable. Yeah. I think it's so cute.
My masks are all solid black, and I always wearing black, so it's kind of easy to go.
It works out, yeah.
Yeah.
That was your plan all along.
Yeah. No, I didn't plan that. I didn't plan the pandemic. Don't blame it on me.
Give it away.
Don't blame it on me.
Oh my God.
I needed to cover my face. So.
Oh my God.
Yeah, no, I didn't do that. No. So it's pretty cool that you guys all live together in the same area now in Florida. How is your area with hurricanes and stuff?
We usually luck out because we're right there on the upswing of the inside half of Florida. So like if a hurricane's coming in, typically it'll hit
in the Gulf, right?
Yeah, it'll hit like Puerto Rico or the tip. And usually it'll change direction based on how it hits. So if it hits Puerto Rico, typically it goes up and straight in. So you actually get more of it in like the panhandle, and like that's where like Alabama and everything usually gets hit, or Texas sometimes if it goes all the way across. Whereas if it hits the tip, it'll usually change and go up the east side. So that's also
to you.
That's the opposite way.
Oh, the east, to Houston,
so
kind of.
We either get hard winds if it goes to the east and like almost no rain. And then if it goes the opposite way, maybe we'll get some rain. But like the last 2 that came through, we didn't get any of it.
Oh wait, no, yeah, I was so confused. So you meant when they hit Puerto Rico, and
if it hits Puerto Rico, it goes up into the Gulf.
to like Bahamas, let's say, or kind of the edge, like so Florida. And
a lot of times
Miami
it'll go straight up. Right? It'll go straight up the side. So yeah, Miami always gets hit right away. They had a like really rough. I want to say was that Hurricane Matthew? I don't remember.
I never remember.
1 or 2 ago. I don't remember which one it was. But we didn't even have any last year, so that would have been in 2019 probably. They got hit really bad. I don't remember what hurricane it was, but we didn't get anything. Like we got rain. Yeah. And then it goes straight up the side, so like it might hit like Daytona, and then it'll go like Georgia, North Carolina all the way up, and then it just dissipates at some point. But for the most part, we are lucky in the Bay Area where it just swings either direction usually by the time it gets to us, and we don't have to worry about it.
Have you been forced to like evacuate your area since you're there?
No, Diana, one time when she was at college, they evacuated them to a high school just because they thought there would be a flood warning at the campus. And she lives, so the campus itself is right along a riverway. And the building that her dorm was in, it backs right up to the water. So if there was a flood, the bottom half would be in trouble. And she's on the second floor, so she probably technically would have been fine, but then you'd be stuck there however long the water was up. But I don't think it came up. It was just a warning. So they had to move to Hillsborough High School, a little ways away. Yeah. But I don't even think she was there like a whole day. They had them there for a couple hours, and then they were like, all right, you can go.
It's just scary.
It could be, but I mean, like in the New Jersey area where I grew up, you have to deal with snow every year.
I know.
And that can be its own nightmare. It brings down trees and power lines, and like you're stuck in the house if your car is like, God forbid, your car is like plowed in.
You miss it, right?
Not even a little bit. Like people will be like, oh, don't you miss the seasons? And I'm like, no, absolutely not. No, I don't miss like the foliage change even. Like, I mean, it's pretty. But
it's pretty in the TV shows, or it's pretty in the podcast. Or one day driving through it, but the rest of the time, all your patio in front is covered.
Yeah, it's wet leaves just sitting everywhere. You're like, it's pretty for like 2 weeks.
I know. It's the same with the snow. When I just got here the first time, oh my God, what is this beautiful?
Yeah, and then some idiot like walks through your yard with their dog, and you're like, well, it's ruined.
No, not even. But you need to clean your driveway. You need to clean your car.
Windshields. Your car is like frozen solid. You have to like go start it an hour before you leave.
And they clean the street, and it's all like mud everywhere. So now it's not white and beautiful anymore. Now it's muddy.
The last 2 winters that I spent here were like the worst New Jersey had on record. And we have like a ShopRite in my Hillsborough is where I'm from, my hometown. It's a big parking lot, but it's like a big L shape. And they had plowed as much of the snow as they could over to one corner. And there was a mountain of gray, garbage-filled snow until like May or something like that. It did not melt for the longest time. I was just like, so gross. It was absolutely disgusting. And that's every winter there now. Like, it's gross all the time. And like, I have my best friend will fly down and then stay with me in like November, December times. She gets off the plane and she's like, it's green. She like sends pictures of like palm trees and things back. You
say my best friend flied out. You have right now like 10 other friends, like, bitch, I thought it was your best friend. I never fly out there. Now you got a bunch of enemies now.
Everyone is aware that Karen is my best friend. I introduce her as this is my best friend, but also her and I both do this where we'll be talking to like people we've known for years, and I'll be like, my best friend Karen. And they're like, yeah, we know who Karen is. And they're like, I'm like, well, I'm just making sure you know.
I know who Karen is. Imagine that I know.
She does that. She like, she works in an office in New Jersey and with like older people. So I don't know if it's like something she does kind of to remind them, but she's like, I do that all the time where I'll be like, and I'm going to visit my best friend Steph in Florida, and they're like, we know who Stephanie is, and she's like, oh yeah.
I know. How rough to have that name right now, right? Karen.
She has mentioned that.
Right? But she's nothing like those Karens.
No. I mean, she's the only Karen my age that I've ever met also. She's said she's met other ones, but I was like, I've never met somebody.
Right, that's like older people's name, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's not trending.
It's not a trending name.
It wasn't trending by like 25 years ago.
She actually sent me something, I think last year, where it's on the list of like names to die off, basically. Like it's like an endangered name. There's like, they do like a list of like 10 to 20 names every year just to let you know like which names haven't been chosen in the last like however long. So like Karen is, I'm sure it'll like officially die out based on this.
Now, yes.
But yeah, she was like, the list says like how many people named their baby that name this year. And like Karen was like 6 people or something like that. So it's like super endangered. I was like, well, that's nice.
It
like,
won't be missed.
She's not like, she's not a fan of that at all.
Yeah. I met her, twice maybe? Once, twice. And she's super nice. She's
so nice. She's very like, kind of
soft,
quiet
right?
to herself. Soft. Yeah, she's a gentle, like calm little person. And no, she would never do something like that. We're also those kind of people where we're at the restaurant, we like act like I've never been a server. Karen has, but like we act like we know exactly like what their deal is, and we're like, no, take your time. Like, you know, whenever you get here, it's fine. Oh, I'm sorry. Like, you know, your food it'll be out in like 10 minutes. We're like, whatever. Like, whatever works. Don't worry about it. We like clean up our plates ourselves, stack them all so they're ready to go. Yeah, we're over the top about it. So like I feel like. I don't know if somebody would see her doing that now and be like, oh, it's because she's trying not to
compensate
look like a kid. I don't know, but.
Yeah. I normally do that. Try to put together the plates the most possible, try to facilitate. I don't know why, but I try to do it. But I have this friend that he was upset. Like he put all that, he cleaned that, put it there, put it in order, cleaned that table, everything, put everything in a little pack there where.
So they just come over and they just go, thank you, and they leave. Yes. Yes, we've done that multiple times.
That's cool. Yeah.
It's just helpful, I think. And you try not to like, you know, it's hard and they get paid nothing and they're just working on tips. And you're like, you know, as so much as a server is just like completely out of your control anyway. And so, but you're the face.
But you're the face, so you get
right. So you're going to get it. So I'm always like super obnoxiously nice. I say please and thank you after like everything, or thank you so much. Like they'll be like, oh, here, let me bring you like another soda, and I'm like, thank you so much. Thank you so much. That's so nice of you.
Yeah, no, it should be like that, right? A lot of people are super entitled, like that's their job. Shut up. Yeah, it's their job. Doesn't mean that you have to be an ass. You can be polite, right? At least you don't need to clean the table, but you can be polite every time you ask.
100%.
I'm a pain in the ass, but I'm not rude. Meaning, like. And I was worse. I cured myself of being worse of an asshole.
Good. Well, that's growth, and we applaud that.
And I've been trying to keep growing every day.
Good.
But no, the thing is that, for example, I like my meats well done. Don't hate on me. Nobody hate on me. I just like them well done. It grows me out the juices and blood and stuff like that. Right. So if I ask for a steak and I ask well done, and it comes bloody, I have to send it back, right? But I try to, I know, so sorry, I don't want to be an ass. I know you guys are busy. Please tell the kitchen to put in the microwave. I don't care. Yeah,
I don't want to
sell liquids. Yeah, but it's about that, right? It's about...
As long as you're like trying to be a nice person. Yeah, I don't know why you would go somewhere and act like they owe you something. Like they just work here. Like this isn't their restaurant. They don't. Especially people who are like, I'm never coming back here. You're like, okay, that affects me 0%.
I know.
I don't care.
I know. Yelp is so, man. I because I have to travel for work or whatever. I always looking where to eat, and so I check Yelp. Back in the days, if I see a restaurant with like 3 stars that already look yellow, the reviews, I'm like, oh, I'm not eating in that place. That gotta be disgusting. But in some point, I was like, let me check. Let me read what people is complaining.
Some of them are so trivial.
Oh my God. Like I got there and the parking lot, it was a red car that I didn't like. Like, really? You're gonna leave a fucking bad review for...
What does that have to do with anything? Yeah.
Bro, listen, people leave bad reviews for no sense all the time. But the way how they type it is like they're so entitled.
Oh my God, I know.
Oh my God, I went to this place and the waitress was, I don't know, walking so quick with my food in the hands that we're making it cold. Like, I don't know. I'm just making shit up right now. Like, it's not even creative.
There's no doubt in my mind that review exists somewhere.
Listen, they opened a new restaurant here in my town and I went to check, the photos of the food. That's what I tried to check, right? And it was like 1 star, the restaurant.
Because one person went in there and was like...
But it was new. It have like 3 reviews. And one review was like 5 stars. And the other 2 reviews were like 1 star.
You're stupid.
And listen, it was so annoying that when I read them to see what it was happening in the place, because if the place is dirty or whatever, you don't want to, put your kid in somebody's hand. So I went to see, right? The 2 reviews were from the same couple.
Oh my God, rude. What are you doing?
What are you kind doing? Of answer you have to be.
Literally.
First, the people don't really know.
This is what I wrote. What did you write?
How hard is to open a business and trying to make it succeed. And people make mistakes. You know what I mean? Yeah,
especially starting
You ask for white rice and they brought yellow rice. Just send it back and that's call the day, right?
Who does that hurt? Right. It takes 3 seconds to go back.
No, listen to this. These people were complaining because it was people in the other table being too loud. Like I don't know why they were celebrating like a birthday in this place, and they were being so loud that we cannot like talk in our table.
Someone's birthday party is affecting you. Oh my God.
In a restaurant. Why people need to be happy in this restaurant?
Did they even say anything? They probably didn't even say anything to the staff. They weren't like, even if they did, like, what are the staff going to do? But like, I'm sure they were just like, they didn't even care that they were being super loud and we could barely hear ourselves talk.
And we're talking about, this is a restaurant that is not like a super fancy.
It's not like where everyone's having like
where everybody's super
a romantic dinner.
No, it's just a random restaurant, normal everyday,
ridiculous,
no expensive restaurant. You go in and out, whatever. And people complaining because people were being happy in the other table.
How dare you be happy near my food?
Whatever. Let's say it bothers you so much that you have to complain. You destroying a restaurant.
Yeah,
because a lot of people won't even read the review.
No,
They're gonna see that 1 star and stay away of the place.
Absolutely ridiculous.
So you destroying a restaurant where people invest so much work, people dream on, have a succeed business, they invest their money, probably their savings. They probably got in debt to open the place, and you destroying it because somebody was being too happy in the other table. Let's say you were right. Let's say it was too noisy. It's necessary to leave a bad review because people in the other table was being
right.
You know
Is
what I
mean?
Is
that a 1-star experience because other people were being loud?
It's not even the restaurant fault because if somebody's being noisy, that maybe the waitress can come and say, I can keep it a little low. But as a restaurant owner, you cannot really be there like, listen, shut up or leave, because then you really get a bad review.
Especially, I'm like wondering what the noise complaint they're having is. Like, I bet it was like them singing or something. It probably has to do with the celebration itself. And they're just like...
Probably they were having a drink and being happy, being friends right there. Who knows?
So ridiculous.
Who really knows? But
like,
really? And the both of the person in this table have to leave that review 1 star.
I know.
That's even, oh my God, not thinking.
That's ridiculous, honestly. You would be like, get your phone out too. Like, mine's not enough. Make sure you also... so crazy. Yeah. Someone like thought processed that. They were like, babe, also get your phone and do it yourself.
I probably have, let's say, 10 problems in restaurants through the years of eating in a restaurant. They haven't been once that the problem wasn't solved when you just let the people know.
Yeah.
Like, I asked for pasta. The pasta was too dente, like way too dente. Then I said, can you kind of, I asked, well done pasta. Okay, we cook it again. No problem. Here it is. Yeah. Or a drink, and the drink was whatever.
Right.
Too watery, or you didn't like it. Oh, I didn't like the drink. Can you please change it? Yeah, of course. That's it. You just need to ask, be polite.
Also, they're almost always willing to go like above and beyond whatever you ask to make sure that they get the kind of word of mouth that they want. So like there was a time me and Andrew went to dinner on like a kind of busy night, and the guy who was helping us, I could see him. He's running around like he's like boxing. This is one of those like nice places where they box it for you at your table. So he's boxing people's foods over there. He's like delivering all alcoholic beverages. So he has to go back to the bar and hand deliver them. So he's buzzing around, and he forgot to bring me a Coke after he brought Andrew his like alcoholic beverage, whatever he got. So when he came back to get our orders, he was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'll go get your soda. And I was like, it's fine. Like I had water or something there, right? No problem. It's fine. Didn't even think about it. And then he brought it to me with my food maybe another 5 minutes later. Came back. And he apologized again that he didn't get it to me sooner. And I was like, I can see that you're busy. Like, don't worry about it. And he came back and he said that he was going to give us a free dessert for the trouble. And we were like, there was no trouble. I'm like, you don't have to do that. Yeah. And he was like, please, like, let me do it. And we got like free dessert out of it. He was like super nice. And I was just like,
yeah, that's how the industry normally works. But people don't want to understand. People are so entitled. Like, I'm going out to eat. I have to be.
They want to have a problem. Yeah.
And that's another thing. Why people is always trying to look something to be miserable about. Like, they forgot your drink. Who cares? Just wait a little longer. Ask again.
Right.
Okay, there are those moments where, I don't know, you have hair in your food.
Yeah.
And you call it and just say, like, whatever, just pull it to a side. Hey, no, you don't do that. You know
No, they would, yeah. But if they were going to kind of give you attitude, that's one thing. But
again, I went once to this restaurant. I don't know, I probably shouldn't name it, but I should, because it was so amazing. But I don't know if I should, because the podcast name places. But anyway, I went to this place. I asked for a well-done steak. It's a steakhouse, right? They brought me the steak, bloody. I send it back, they bring it again, bloody, still.
It's probably because it's a steakhouse. They're like, we don't want to overcook it on purpose.
No. So the point is that they brought it now. Pretty cool. Now it's nice. Of course, everybody already ate.
Now you're by yourself.
The manager came over and said, listen, we're not going to charge for that steak. But it was a big ass steak, a lot of money. So I said, no, you don't need to do that. Don't worry. I know I'm being a pain. It's just, I don't like the blood, but don't worry. He said, no, we're a steakhouse. The least that we should know is how to cook a fucking steak as the client wanted, as the guest wanted.
They want to help you.
So that's the point. They're always trying to help you, right?
Yes.
And again, I don't know.
There's no doubt in my mind those people didn't say anything about the noise while they were there. They just internalized it and both went back to their car or back to their house and they were
probably sitting in that table. These people being happy here. I hate happy people always.
Can you imagine?
People smiling, but it's wrong with them.
Oh my God. I cannot imagine being filling with hatred and rage over somebody having a birthday party near me. Can you imagine? Yeah. Oh my God. So ridiculous.
I know.
It'd be one thing if it was I don't know, a bachelorette party and they're woo, freaking out, drinking, having a really good time. That might be really annoying. Yeah. A birthday party.
But any kind of, even if they were not in a party, they were just sitting there and eating. So the point is that, yes, sometimes it's annoying when somebody's, you know what I mean? It's this thing of having a kid. I have my son in the table. I don't want him to be jumping around and making mess and throwing things just because, or playing the iPad out loud, that everybody's like, oh, that kid. Of course, but it's not that restaurant fault.
No.
To leave a bad review for that. You know what I'm saying?
Also, what are they going to do about that scenario?
What
that baby's crying and he won't stop crying. And you're like, what do you want me to tell the parents? What do you want me to do?
I know.
Yeah, sometimes you go out and people around you are not the people you would want around you. But you're in public. It's not like you went somewhere specific to have a private dinner or something. Do you know what I mean? Yes. You didn't have the room to yourself because you booked the room to yourself. That's not how it works. You're going to a public location where people and their families go.
Exactly. Again, I don't know. I just feel like the worst for me out of that review is that both of them left the review. Because 2 1-star review fucked our business big time. More when the business is new. I wonder if they can get that
removed.
No, you can't.
I would kind of almost consider that as spam. I wonder if they can appeal it and be
I don't
2 people
really know,
left the same review.
Very hard.
I don't know. Yeah, some of them, it depends on what website it is. I don't know about Yelp, but I know some, Google reviews, if something's being somebody is clearly I don't know, copy pasted the same thing from a different source or something like that, you can be this is spam. They're just posting this or whatever. Or sometimes you can see they'll respond and they have we solved this when you were at the restaurant or whatever, whatever the deal is. But they'll respond and say, that's not right.
Imagine that. That's even worse. That you complain about something in the restaurant, they fix it for you, and then still you go and leave a bad review and not mention that they fix it for you at least,
Right.
I wasn't happy. They fix it for me, but still I gotta leave a bad review, become an ass.
I've seen that before. Somebody will say something about, I think there was one we had, I think it was a tattoo shop or something like that. I don't think it was yours. I've left a review on yours though.
Thank you.
But there was one, I think it was maybe another friend of mine saying that this person is going from their Facebook business page and leaving a review, and then they went to Google, and then they went to Yelp, whatever. And they were posting the same review multiple times. And she's like, I would love if people my friends could just go respond to this comment, or give positive reviews to kind of bump that one out of the way. And when I went to go check it, the person was complaining about, I don't know, not being, my appointment time was at whatever, and they didn't see me until almost an hour later. And then, the tattoo that she was supposed to draw up for me wasn't even ready yet, something. And then the response from the shop was okay, first of all, you were late by almost 30 minutes. So the person that was supposed to be tattooing her was in the back kind of already working on something else. So somebody had to go get her. So they made her wait.
Yeah.
They were she's right there. We'll go get her. That's the wait she's talking about. And then she said, my tattoo design wasn't done yet. And the artist was you didn't tell me everything you wanted. You kind of said maybe A, B, C, and maybe black and gray or something. So they had to decide permanently once she came into the shop. She was like, is this good? Yes or no? Did you want to add anything? Yes or no? Can I change it in some way? And then they had to size it up, put it on, and get started. So she's like, I don't even know what your complaint is. You were late, and then it took her a while to get what you wanted because you hadn't 100% decided until you were there looking at it.
Thanks God, that person is not my client.
Oh my God, I know.
Because I designed the day of the appointment, and my client have to sit there and,
we've done that many times.
I don't design in advance. I got many friends that design in advance and work for them. For me, it never worked because always people ask for change and stuff.
And like I can see that. It depends on like I guess what the design is. Like if you were, I don't know, what is the one everybody gets? Like a pocket watch and flowers.
Yes.
So if you were like, I want a pocket watch with like roses and I want it like here, you could probably draw that up and have it ready to go whenever they come in.
Probably,
but I mean, they could always come back and be like, oh, I actually wanted to get this compass instead of that pocket watch or something, and then switch it in and out. And so like that obviously it's going to take a few minutes.
Yeah, for me it's more like I want to make sure the design I'm doing, it fits
the spot.
The spot is the best possible, and the muscle shapes and how it got a distort or move or something.
Yeah.
So I want to see that in front of me.
Some artists draw like right on the skin also when they're like designing.
Oh, yeah.
And so
freehands, I do that.
I think you've done that on me a little bit.
Probably.
Probably just to fit stuff in. But there are like definitely times where I'm like, I don't understand how you could like a whole back piece. Like you're going to want to have some of that artwork maybe done beforehand so it doesn't take like a while.
It totally depends on what it is.
Depends on what it is.
What I do is that sometimes I do random designs when I have time in between appointments or whatever. I don't know. Whenever I have time, I see it and do some designs. Or when I want to explore this style a little more, right? Like the double exposure I'm doing where you see like a face of a person and then it become a mountain or something, whatever. Oh, yeah, like that. So you see, so sometimes I want to explore more that style. So when I have time in the computer or by myself or whatever, I design a couple of those and put it there on Instagram, like designs that I did because I want to.
Almost
and
like
then
Flash.
people can take it and then I do it. And I try to fit it in whatever the person wanted.
Yeah.
But for me, the problem with those kind of designs is that then if you want to get it, you have to get it in a place that design fits.
Yes.
You cannot get this design in your ribs because it won't flow, so I cannot do it. And I don't want to change it because the whole purpose of design is to make it work as it is.
Right. I want to do it like this.
As
so,
it is, yeah.
Yes, I get you.
But that when I do designs in advance. Other than that, I try to always design with my client in front of me. And it's a lot. I've been doing it for a minute already, and it proved that it worked the best for me. And I have had just probably like 2 or 3 clients that they couldn't take a decision. Like, I'm not sure. Can you move this thing there? Oh, I'm not sure. Can you move the... After a couple... yeah, listen, this is never going to work.
Please
because
don't.
At this point, it's not like a real, like, oh, I didn't want a wolf. I want a tiger. Okay, that's valid. Let's say. It's more like, you see that print in the tiger head? Can you make a little wider? Like, what are you talking about?
Yep.
Shut up.
Okay.
Now you're giving an opinion just because you cannot take a decision. It doesn't make sense. So, yeah, I'd rather design in front of people. It's easier for me. There is this artist. I mean, there are many artists like that, but this artist, I've been keeping an eye on him lately. Tech the Pole, I think. Sorry, man, I don't know your name exactly. Something like that. Tech, T-E-J-P-O-L-E or something. He's a great artist. I think he's in North Carolina. And he said it out like straight up, like, I'm custom tattoo artist and I gotta tattoo what I wanted to tattoo. I gotta do my designs and you gotta get it.
This is what you're getting or no.
And he does amazing work. So, yeah, that's probably gonna be my approach from now on.
That's what we were doing.
Yeah. And I have done it several times, but for some reason, I was still like, okay, you are the client. You have to wear this forever. I have to listen to you and try to please you more. No, not you.
Oh, okay. I was like,
No,
we did not.
Some clients that come with
somebody else. Okay.
Like this, I want this, I want that, I want this, I want that. And I try to please them. I noticed that those tattoo are not the strongest one. Somehow I compromise out of the limits where I should be compromising.
Gotcha.
Just to please the client.
Yeah.
And
it kind of takes away the integrity of it.
Yeah.
That's why I don't graphic design.
You see?
Exactly that. That's what I was saying.
Graphic design, at least you have to please clients because you have to sell something with tattoo.
You would
it's more art.
Well, yes, art. But you work hard on a design or you have like a concept that you're like, this will work. And they're like, what if we meh. You're like, you're not even a graphic designer. So what would you know about it? And you're like, okay, let me do that. Even though I know you're going to be like, that's not right either. And you'd be like, that's because the first one was better.
Right. So, but in general, I love my clients. I cannot complain. Now, more and more, I've been like, listen, you don't know what you're talking about. Let me just do me. And I try to explore the idea that they brought in and make something different. Well, there at the end, accept it and love it,
Yes. I mean, you're the professional in this scenario. So, like, if you're going to come in with a bunch of questions, like, I always would like to defer to whatever you're going to say. If I'm like, oh, what if we did, I don't know. I don't think I've had, like, any switch-ups on what you did. Right. I think I did request the lighthouse when you suggested it. I can't remember what you thought you might do instead, but I was like, oh, the lighthouse. I actually have like a connection to lighthouses. My aunt's favorite thing is lighthouses. She collects them. So I was like, a lighthouse would be cool. And we were like, okay. And we like continued with that. But if you were like, oh, that won't really fit there, I would have been like, okay, whatever you say.
No, it's that I'm not trying to impose my ways, No. I would never say to a client,
but you're giving your suggestion based on what you know.
Yes. So today I feel like to enrose it, but I want my mother portrait. Nah, forget about it. I want a rose and a crow today. I never got to do that. What I try to do is, that's what I like having my client in front of me. I like to pick their brain. So I talk and ask questions or whatever, and they tell me what they think they want, and in between all those words is what they really want. I just try to pick it from there and do designs based on that.
Yeah. I mean, anyway. You bounce ideas off. And then, I mean, sometimes that ends up helping and you kind of come up with something else, kind of like, bing, that would look good. And you just throw it together. Especially I see you, when you're like looking for sources, you'll like click through Google Images or something like that, like a mile a minute. And then you'll bring me like 3 things and you'll be like, I'm thinking like this. And you're like, okay. Cool. And then you would just like go. And I wouldn't even know what we were getting until it was like on the skin, basically. So I'd just be like, just whatever you're doing.
How many tattoos are they for you?
Total?
I don't know. Are they both of your legs? No, not the whole thing, but tattoo both of your legs, your full arm, and your back, right? Mm-hmm. Wow.
Wait.
How many sessions?
Oh my God. Sessions? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh my God, there's so many on that leg. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I want to say really? 12-ish on just the legs and the arm. And then the back was a whole 2-day thing.
Back to back 2 days.
So like 14-ish.
Wow.
I don't know like exactly how much, because they're like the knee and the shin we did in 2 different sessions. But I had like part of the line work done already on the knee when I came back. So I think we only did the knee probably only took like 2 hours maybe?
I don't remember. Knee sucks, right?
It was pretty bad. But that was the first time you've used the like numbing cream.
Oh, did I?
And I was like, where has that been this whole time? Because that really wasn't that bad. Like I remember the shin being pretty terrible. You shouldn't have said that. No, a lot of people would be like, wait, what did you use? I want that. It like
I don't use that.
Because we did.
Because
you worked from the bottom. Well, you worked on the shin from the foot up, obviously. And you did, it's a shot glass at the bottom, that like crystal shot glass, remember? And then you went straight up with the
blood string, almost
blood or wine or whatever. Yes, coming down into it. And then you shaded the sides of it green. To go with the owl and the fox. So like that was a long process anyway. So by the time you got to the knee, I was already kind of like, not in the zone necessarily, but like I was already kind of like focused. And I was like, you should just try and get done like whatever you can get. And you did some of the outline. And I was like, that's not so bad. And then you started the color like around the bottom of the kneecap. And I was like, nope, actually, I don't think I have it in me today. It was just rough. Like in that, I guess that soft spot that's like right under your kneecap on the both sides. You had started to like, the hands, that's what you started with. So the hands start like that. So you had gone around the bottom of the fingertips and then you started to shade around the outside of the hands. And that's when I was like.
And you were like, no, it's not happening.
I think we're going to have to do a second. I think that's the first one I had to do like a separate session. I think that's the only one I've ever like left your shop without like completed tattoo.
Because probably, because the bag was 2 days in a row, but because it's big and we worked like 9 hours.
But we did the same thing with this one. We did this whole piece 1 day and then the next day that. and met in the middle.
I remember it was very swollen in between. Remember in the middle, right by the elbow area, it was swollen.
I don't remember.
Yeah, I remember.
I think you got down to there's like a daisy here. I think you did all the way to there.
Mm-hmm.
And the next day you did everything below that. I think. But like, I don't remember the arm being swollen, but I remember you like meeting at the back at the end of the day. And I was just like, I don't have much left in me, so just like kill it. And you just went. I was like, I'm not leaving with an empty elbow.
Like, which one has been the most painful of all of those? The knee, you would say, or the inner thigh?
No, the inner thigh actually wasn't that bad until you went.
We took a break for like 2 hours and go back to put a little more background, and then you were crying.
No, I didn't cry on that one. I cried on the elbow after the 2 days.
You cried?
Yeah, you remember? I was like, just because you were like, you were ready to like tap out almost. You were like, we could be done. And I was like, I'm not leaving with like a blank elbow. But you wanted to put like smoke in there. And I was like, I'm just going to like scream into the pillow basically because I was just like I was so tired by then. That was like almost 16 hours total. Ugh. And I was just like, just fucking go. And I just like have focused on crying basically to like ignore what was happening on my elbow as much as I could. But the inner thigh, I was fine the whole way through that. You did like, it's kind of cartoony. So you did that like thick line around the outside. And then you did the pink hair and you did like a little bit of pink almost like spilling out past the thick line. And that kind of sucked going back over the line. And then like you were looking at it, you would literally cleaned it off. Like you were using like the wet paper towel, like you were ready to be done. And you were like, I feel like it needs something else. I want to add like blue or something. And I was like, okay. And then you went around the entire outside, bottom to top in blue. And that sucked. But like the rest of it was pretty fine.
So which one is the worst of all? The elbow or the knee?
No. I think the like part of the back sucked. Like up right at the top was pretty shitty, but not that bad. I could probably tolerate that again, honestly. But I think like the worst one I had was the part just above the back of my knee. Like you did the one side with the rose, and it just touches the bottom back of my knee, and then the bird that I got that we were talking about earlier, yes. that touches the top back of my knee, and both of those were not fun. Yeah. The one you did was much more shading and color, and then the one she did was more line work. So like different levels of suck for sure. But like I would say the back of the knee was pretty bad.
Yeah, I heard that. My brother got very close to the area. He says sucks horrible.
There's like nothing about it that's good anyway. Like, but you like because there's nothing back there except like that little chunk of fat kind of feeling, and then like the tendons that like go around the back sides of it. So like it feels like it's shaking no matter what. Even like her hand sitting on it really sucked a lot because her like this part of her hand would like rock over the back part of your knee. So that hurts for sure. And then like it kind of felt like it was never like still. Like I can feel she's doing like a line. Like I know she's doing a line. I remember what the design looks like, but it really honestly feels like she's just like doing this because like it's moving everywhere. Like and you can't like kind of like focalize and just like focus on something else. You can't because it's just like you feel it all the way up your leg. That sucked. And when we did the back tattoo, the worst pain about that was my hands by the end. Like, because I was laying flat and they kept getting cold.
Oh, yeah.
And then remember, I was like, they hurt so bad by the end from me just like, I don't know, making fists or like locking them up. I don't know. They were so cold that I was like clutching them maybe. I made my friend go get coffee just so I could hold it because my hands hurt so bad from being cold. I just wanted to hold something hot.
Did I go with you next door and the Indian guy offered us something to eat that he made? That was you or no? No,
I don't think I left the table. I probably stayed.
I thought for a second it was you.
It might have been Chuck. Did you go next door?
No, but no, different day, different client. But it was a girl that
he made you food
because we went. They have a deli there, so they sell food, right? And they're Indians. So, but they sell like bacon and cheese and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But that day he was making something from India. There's kind of a rice tortilla, almost look like a big tortilla made out of a rice dog or something. I don't know. He explained to me, but I cannot remember details. But it was with something that you dip in that was super spicy, like super spicy. So we were making fun of that. And I thought it was you, but no, I guess no, it's somebody else.
I don't know if I could have handled like another layer of pain. If I was eating spicy and I'm like, my hands hurt and my face is dying. Oh my God, it would have been so mad.
We did you back and you, a lot of people hate you because you make them look so wimpy.
We live streamed a good amount of that and I just laid there.
And we post the photos and people couldn't believe that we did like 2 days back to back in the full bag with all that dark background that you wanted and with the thing. And yeah, there was a lot of needle and you took it like nothing. Everybody that was in that shop, like your friend and
your other artist.
My other artist
I don't remember who else was there.
Was covering that. I don't remember, but it was the people that always come and go and whatever.
There was another guy getting tattooed also. He was getting like this part of his arm and he was like, how are you doing that? And I was like, I don't know.
Always people like, what the fuck?
I was doing all right.
I tattooed a friend of mine in a tattoo convention and I did his full back in one day, but it was a very kind of simple now. It was a big ass tattoo, full back.
Yeah.
It was like probably 11 hours or something. I don't remember. In YouTube, I have videos of that. But the point is that night he got fever. He got he felt terrible, swollen, couldn't sleep and all that. No. You did the same, but you came back the next day and got more.
I stayed with your friend at her apartment when I did that, I think. Oh no, that was a different time. What was that?
You are maybe?
I don't remember. I want to say
which friend was
I felt
that
like
one?
It was my back because I remember her telling me like I wanted to take a shower really bad. And she was like, you need to be careful. Like, if you feel dizzy or anything, make sure you sit. She has like a little like shower seat almost, I think. And she was like, make sure you don't like just lean into the water or anything.
Oh, that was Gigi, right? My friend from Germany, right?
Yes. Yes.
She lives in Florida, Hollywood.
I stayed with her that one time.
She's amazing, right?
She was so nice.
I love her.
Yes, but she was like extra concerned when I was like, I really just desperately wanted a shower. And she was like, she's like, I don't want to obviously like be in there with you. Like, she's like, I want you to be able to like be alone, but like I am worried. So please be careful in there. And I was like, I can do it. She probably wanted
to be there with you. I'm kidding.
I'm kidding. So nice.
I love her.
She's like the best. Set me up my bed and everything. And she brought me back to you in the next morning, like bright and early. Mm-hmm. She was ready to go. She had like coffee for me and everything. I was like,
that probably was your arm because it's the only tattoo we did 2 days in a row other than your back.
I guess.
Because in your back, you stay somewhere in New York or Long Island or something for your back.
Yeah, maybe it was my arm. I don't remember. But she was like so worried about me with like going in to be by myself in the bathroom. I was like, I can do it. But like with my back, like I don't remember even having a problem.
How far are you from Hollywood, Fort Lauderdale area? It's like 4 hours across, 3 hours across?
It's up and across Fort Lauderdale.
Let's say to Miami, all of that.
Miami is about 6 hours because you have to go.
6 hours.
You have to. Well, first I have to like leave Tampa Bay, so that always takes like an hour. You have to like go up and around out of Tampa to go back down, and you have to go past diagonally the Everglades. So that road goes like straight all the way down, and then you just go straight out. You pretty much could go like the exact same way if you were going to go to Key West. Like that's how far it is.
Okay.
There's literally like exits for Miami and Key West going opposite directions.
Okay.
So it's pretty far.
You should get in touch with her. She's there. We went to visit her because she got married. She have a daughter.
Yes, I think I'm friends with her on Facebook. Yeah. I think it's Facebook. But
and we just went. I haven't met her daughter yet, so we just went to meet her. In that trip that I told you I did on a spring break.
Oh yeah.
And they're there. They're living there.
That's
beautiful
awesome.
House. I'm so happy for her.
I know.
Like I love her. She's nice.
She's
nicest. Always been nice to me. I don't know why. Always been fucking.
What?
I'm kidding.
You're the nicest guy.
I know. I'm so nice.
We're besties.
Oh, Karen. No, she's kidding, Karen.
I can have multiples, but
besties. Okay.
Besties, but she's my best friend, Karen. She has the full title.
I know. And she deserves it for being nice.
She just got.
How long you guys know each other? Since little? School? You went to school together?
We met in the 3rd grade.
Same classroom, like you were together? Oh, wow. And you kept going same school all through high school?
Yeah. I don't think we ever had another class again after 3rd grade. We had lunch together once in high school, and I think that was it.
Also, but you weren't in the same classroom?
Not in the same classrooms, but in the same school. So we would have to like find each other during the day.
That sucks.
Yeah. Rough. They like knew somehow. Bitches. You know, like she's a twin also. You know, they like try and separate like twins and like super best friends. Like teachers will like take note of super best friends. So they try and separate you like on
Really?
person. Yeah. They like want to make sure you don't just like only have one person in your life. So they try and separate you to make new friends basically. So they do that. Like Jessica is only a grade younger than me, and her and I only ever had one class together, and it was in high school as an elective that is only open to seniors. And the period that I got it's like 8th period, so towards the end of the day. And a lot of seniors in my school can also apply for like you get credit for like going to a job. So you can like leave a little early and go to work, and you get like a work credit.
Nice.
So because it was the end of the day, I happened to fall into like the 8th period. They had openings, and they opened it up to a few juniors, and they like let her in. So that was the only class we've ever had together, and it was by accident. I'm pretty sure they must have just been like, oh, there's also another Marazzo on this list, and they just like let her in.
Wow, that's
That's the only
I
time
don't know
it's
if that
happened.
happened when I was in high school, have siblings in same class.
It's
what
hard.
I would say is it probably, was your mom teacher or something?
Preschool, yeah.
Preschool teacher.
Preschool teacher forever.
I think that's something that gotta be annoying or weird is having your mom or your dad as a teacher when you're in high school. You're having them all every day. Not like every day because you change classes, right?
Yeah. It also depends on like which kind of teacher they are, I guess. Like if you're like a English teacher and you're going to be in there for like 45 minutes every day, that seems weird. But if it's like, I don't know, an elective, like they're a music teacher or something, like you don't necessarily have to see them. Yeah. You could set it up if you wanted to be away from them. My mom is like amazing though. She is in charge of, she was like a headmaster at one point of a preschool, like a very nice preschool in New Jersey. And she did that for years, and then she left that place so that she could take on less responsibility, and she was loving that.
So cool. Now, when you become a mom, you have this kinder teacher.
She like our family's like joke at this point is neither of my other sisters like really care about marriage in general. My older sister's been dating the same person for years, and they're like, it's a piece of paper. They're one of those. So like they don't care. Like they might not get married, but if they do, they do. But they pretty much have decided like they don't want kids. And my younger sister hates children.
Oh my God.
So the joke is at this point, like I'm her only hope for going to a wedding and having a grandkid at some point. So like it all falls on this one. And she's not like dying for it. She would never like push us to have children for her. But like my cousin visited not that long ago, like February. And they have 2 kids, like a 2-year-old and a 3-year-old. And she's obsessed. She was like planning for months. Like she was like, I want to take them to this and I want to do this with them. And she would like go to the dollar store and get like little toys and things. She had like bubble wands. She was ready to go to like the zoo. And she was, they just put in this new splash pad and like the pier is done. And like, I want to take them there. And like both my cousins are just like, yeah, whatever. Like whatever you want to do with them, we don't care. She was like in her head, like could not wait for them to get there. She's obsessed.
I know. I can't wait.
She loves them. And they also like, we only get to see them every once in a while because they're in North Carolina.
Your cousins, you mean?
My cousins. And I also have another cousin up there with her own daughter, who's also very small. So like we like want to see them, but like, you know, it's hard to go back and forth, obviously. And they tend to not travel because the kids are so small. So we really only see them if they come to see us. And when they come back, they remember the pool specifically, but my cousin was saying that like they'll be like, when are we going to go back to Aunt Debbie's? And she's like, she can't handle it. She's like, oh my God. Like the fact that they like remember her, like makes her so happy.
So your mom and your dad retired, right?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Retired to Florida.
Imagine.
The dream.
The American dream.
I think, yeah, it's at this point.
Yeah. And you told me your dad is a boat enthusiast.
Yeah. He owns a boat. Yeah.
One of those. He got his crew of friends who do boat stuff.
So when he first moved down there, he bought his own like speedboat. And my mom hates that. Cannot stand the speedboat. It's so like it like skips over the water. So it's like it's a lot of wind. And
it's not to chill and relax.
No, right.
It's more like,
exactly. So she didn't want anything to do with that. So pretty much nobody would come on the boat with him unless like people visited and we'd be like, oh, we'll go out on the boat, right? And then he had a friend who was living across the street at the time, and he had a super nice sailboat. And we went on that, and immediately my mom was like, I don't want the speedboat anymore. So the two of them and I think one other friend, they all were like, why are we all having our own boat? at this point when we could all kind of go in on one big boat together, and they all sold off their own, bought one big one together, and they used the slip to get a really nice spot close by, as opposed to before he had to drive like 25, 30 minutes. Slip is basically like your parking spot.
Oh, the boat, when you draw the boat.
Yes, in a harbor. So if you, especially like around Tampa Bay, there's some particularly nice ones, and you're like on a waiting list, or like the one that he's at, you can only get it if you are a resident in the town for over a certain amount of time.
Oh, wow.
Anyway, so there's already like a lot of steps. And so one of the guys was able to like qualify for it. So they are in this like super nice spot. He's there like daily. He brings their fat Chihuahua.
The what?
I think I've showed you pictures of her. Her name's Kramer. She's like a fat Chihuahua Dachshund mix.
Who you does?
He brings her to the boat. It's like he was gifted this dog like by my older sister, like used to work at like a SPCA. They like take care of animals. And she adopted it, and then it didn't end up getting along with her other dog. So she had to get rid of it. Then my parents were like, we'll take it. And she's super cute, but she is annoying as shit.
Chihuahuas. All those little dogs.
Weenie. So she's like so much extra attitude than you really need. But
noisy, right? Bark to everything.
She definitely barks at the door constantly, and she like can hear the UPS truck coming. Hates the UPS truck with like a passion.
What would be that about dogs that hate mailmans and
she'll hear the truck coming from like down the street, and you'll see like her head just like pops up, and she's like, it's coming. I can hear it. And then like if he pulls up in front of the house to like he doesn't have to come to their driveway, even if he like pulls up houses nearby, freaks out until he leaves. She does not like that.
Maybe it's protecting the home, that because they always come way too close.
They do come way too close.
And the mailman and all that. So maybe that's the reason why dogs hate them.
It's always like the particularly small ones too who have like such a problem with it. And she's small, but she is fat. She's a lump. She looks like a little loaf of bread because she's long.
I think what happened with small dogs, big dogs are more like chill. At least there are some aggressive dogs, of course, like everything, right? But most of the time, a big dog, you have to really bother them to get out of control.
Get a rise out of them, yeah.
And little dogs are like always annoying. I think that's the equivalent to somebody that is just a young, tough, a young dude that always wanna like show off his testosterone and fight everybody, versus like a jiu-jitsu black belt or somebody like. I got some friends.
They're like, I know I could take you, so I'll just be chill about it.
The more they're like brown belts and black belts, they're more chill, more nice, relaxed, super soft. And they're that really one that can fuck you up in no time.
Both mine, right? That's them.
But the other ones are like trying to show off all the time. The colors is like, come on.
Yeah. Relax. Like my dogs will come over, like all you have to do is ask them if they like want to go to grandma's house. Freak out. They love it over there. And they also really love my dad. He takes them like on walks around the block when they first get there. So they come in and they immediately go find him. Kramer is like super protective of my dad. That's like his dog.
Kramer?
Like from Seinfeld. From the Seinfeld. Yes, exactly.
It's kind of like the same personality. Like, no.
I don't remember how she got that one, but that's her name.
Wait, you said she is a girl with a boy's name?
Yeah.
I mean, Kramer is kind of a random name, but...
She likes it.
How many? What you have for pets right now? I remember.
I have the 2 cats and the 2 dogs.
What was the? Wait, I don't remember the name of the cat. The one that always been there. You number 1 cat. What is his name?
The first one I got is Minnie. That's the little black one. And then
she's older than. What is the name of the dude?
Melvin.
Melvin. That's the one I remember always. Melvin.
The fat orange one.
Yeah, I thought he was your first cat actually. Oh.
Minnie. I've had her. I think she's like 12 or 13 now. I've had her like since I've known you. Pretty sure.
Wow. Yeah, probably know you for that long, right?
And then when I left for college, I brought her with me. And then I found Melvin on the way to class once.
When you say you found him, what that means? You went to a shelter or you just found him walking around?
No, all of my pets have been acquired from the outside world by accident. So
okay, that's called stealing.
No,
that's not called founding. No. Somebody might have signs. If you find my dog, call this number.
Oh, so Minnie was a kitten that a friend found under a dumpster behind a restaurant when she was leaving from work once.
And it was like a little one?
Tiny, itty bitty. And she brought her home and her mom said no. So I was like, I will take that. And so that's how I got Minnie. And then Melvin, I was getting onto the highway from my apartment on the way to school, and a minivan in front of me swerved, and I saw him run out into the median. So I like pulled over and got out of my car, and I went to get him. He was also tiny. He was small enough. I put him in my bra when I got him, so I could drive. So I like literally pulled him out off of it was like an embankment that goes down into the water. So I like had to go under like weird little trees growing out, pull him out, put him in my shirt, and then I took him to the vet. And he needed like flea treatment, and he had scratched up his paw from running across the street. Like he almost got hit by the car in front of me. And I was like, well, that's mine now. I like dropped like $100 getting him checked out. I was like, this is mine. Brought him home.
How many you have? So you have
the
those two cats and 2 dogs?
2 dogs.
2 dogs, right? Where are they?
Moose is more of like a pit lab mix. Mm-hmm. And then Luna is the little one. She's probably more of like a Staffordshire Terrier. So like...
How is that pit bull and what? Labrador? What is that? A pit bull and what?
A pit and like a lab mix, probably. Yeah, like a Labrador mix. He's like much more of like a thick body as opposed to like a nice lean kind of muscular shape that like a American pit bull might have. He's much more like thick. He's a thick boy, but he's not fat.
But is hairy as a Labrador or more as a pit bull?
It's still short hair. Both of them are short hair. Luna has like a lot of thick hair across her back. It, like if you know when they like get kind of agitated, it'll stand up in the back. Mm-hmm. Hers is like real thick. Like you can like run your fingers through it, and it's nice. Honestly, it's like soft. And Moose is just short hair. Like it's just basically almost touching his skin. He's a big fat boy.
So when you see him, when you look at him, what you would say has as a, from the lab raised?
The shape of his head.
It's kind of more pointing.
Much more like elongated. He's got like a longer snout, whereas like a more full-blooded kind of pit bull shape would have like a fat, thick, square head. Like Jessica, my sister's pit bull, has that shape. Short and stocky. Like the shoulders are like turned forward almost. So they have like a very broad chest, and then they have like a fat head with the ears kind of off to the side. Whereas Moose almost looks more like a lab from the front. Wow. And then Luna's short with a fat, stupid face. She's got that like...
What face?
Almost all the time. Like if I show you photos of her, every single one of them looks like that. It's just always like very dupid and goopy. You're just like, what are you doing? And she's just like, I don't know. Every time. Every time you ask her what's going on. It's just like nothing's going on.
That's not the lab. That's the other one.
That's
right?
the little one, yeah. Mm-hmm. She's precious. But she's dumb.
Yeah. I like cute. I like dumb dogs.
They're so cute.
Yeah, because they're cute.
Yes.
I have a dog back in the days that she was kind of dumb. She was a sweetheart. But she runs and she don't know how to stop, so she just like trip and knock herself with a wall or something.
Oh
and
my God, yeah.
And then she stand up and then she run to the other side and trip and knock herself to the couch and like that. She was super dumb, but such a sweetheart.
Moose has like run face first into the glass sliding door before, like full speed. Like he hit his face like straight on, and like the door shook, and he was just like. Then he just like walked away, and he was like, "That's fine." And he like nothing, not like he didn't hurt himself. He just like stunned himself and kept going. I was just like, "How?" Like he hit it so hard. Yeah. We all thought the door was like gonna break. That was how loud it was when he hit it. And nope, he was just like, nobody saw that, and kept going. So
I don't know if you've seen the photos of our new dog here at home.
It's like a little poofy thing.
Yeah, he's a Boston Terrier. He's little, but I don't understand that dog.
In what way?
He's too calm.
He's too calm.
Yeah, I'm not used to dogs like that because before we have the Yorkies dog or whatever, and they're more like, as I know dogs, so they're playful, they run, they want to jump in you all the time, or want them to pet. This dog is more like always want to be sleeping. Now and then he comes and kind of hang out around the living room of the house and run like a little bit playing.
You got a cat?
No.
But it looks like a dog.
I don't have cats. No cats.
But you do.
It kind of looks like a cat. Maybe that's why I don't like him too much.
Is it clicking?
He's too much of a cat. No, everything falling in place. Yeah.
I told you.
Yeah, he's nice, but he's not like a dog.
I get you. He's a cat dog.
He's weird. Plus, I hate that he doesn't listen. Like, we take him outside of the house to the grass wherever for him to pee, and then he start walking to the other side of the house, and you go like, Milo, come over here. He's like,
no, that's a cat.
I said to my wife,
no rules apply.
I said to my wife, I think that dog is deaf. Like, he cannot hear.
Oh my God.
But no, because then if you get a treat bag.
Oh, a tiny,
and you make a little
tiny sound.
You make a little with a treat. You know the treats bag. You make a little noise. He come from whenever he is.
Yeah.
You know what
I
I
heard
mean?
that, yeah.
So it's more like a cat. You're right.
I'm telling you. He might be part cat.
I didn't realize that gotta be what it is.
That's
it's a cat.
Minnie to a T. Like, you can't tell that cat anything. She's like, okay.
Yeah, so annoying.
Yep.
Yeah, like a cat. If you put a food, he comes to eat. He's happy, like a cat, and then he goes.
Yeah, exactly. They only want like a little bit. They only want attention when they want
He's cute.
it.
He's cute. It's just that he's too calm. too I don't know.
Too something.
Too neutral. I don't know. Not too much of a dog. It's not too much of a dog. I don't know how
not
to
playful
explain
enough necessarily.
Maybe it's that race. I never seen or interact with a Boston Terrier before. So it might be that race that they're too serious, maybe. Too mature. Even when he's like 4 months, he act like he's 12 years. You know when dogs get old?
Yeah.
But not sick, but old, and they kind of
chill out.
They kind of chill out. They don't give a fuck anymore. They kind of.
I honestly don't know too much about the Boston Terrier breed, but
just
I
to
feel
give you a
like
hint.
they're usually like kind of bouncy because they're small dogs. Like usually small dogs are like high energy and
that's what I'm saying. I expected it to be like that, and that's what I'm kind of. I don't know if it's not disappointed, but it's just
not what you
estranged
expected
about it. You know how dogs move that tail when they see you and they're excited, and they don't have a tail. They move the whole hip, kind of like
the butt
you know
shape,
what I mean.
Yes.
This doesn't do any
care.
of that. This doesn't do any of that.
He's just chilling.
What he did, what Milo does is that he kind of go down and put his leg and start stretching the front legs so that two of the back stay like he's sitting down, kind of put it to the front, but the other one stay in the back. That's all he does, and wait for you to pay him a little bit, and that's all.
That's
but
cute.
he don't move his butt, his hips. He don't have a long tail, so I don't know. It's weird. It's cute.
He's cute.
Yeah.
He's got his own personality going.
I know.
He's very happy as he is.
Probably if I was like 75 years old,
he'd be the perfect dog.
Probably is the perfect dog for somebody that's 75 years old.
Right.
Or that has no crazy kid as Andres in the house trying to play with him all the time.
Gotcha. Well.
And fighting. Yeah.
I'm sure it's, I still would want somebody who's like really cuddly. If I was like older.
Yeah.
Well, usually that's why they get like small dogs because they like to be held necessarily. But
I like small dogs because my house is not that big. So I don't want somebody so big, like another full body in the house.
Like
you know
a moose?
I mean? It's more like, like, I don't know.
He takes up space for sure.
Like another family member in the house.
100%.
You know what I mean? I wish if I had a property with like big patio fence, also I would love to have like a lab, a big dog that's something like that. I never been into pit bulls. I don't know why. I don't understand them either because they look scary kind of, but they're nice. They're nice dogs. They're sweethearts and whatever. They're like any dog, but they look scary, full of muscle and like
Unless
what I mean. Like,
you're my dog. Neither of mine look scary, honestly. They both like just look stupid
it's just
most
that look.
of the time.
But you know what I mean? It's that look of the dog, that they
Jessica's
look like.
dog for sure. That like fat head, you can see that from a while away.
I grew up, my father had Dobermans.
Those are kind of scary.
But you see, because I grew up around them, I can understand their body language better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, same as anything. We had pit bulls growing up. It's never been a problem. And we had one that was like slightly aggressive also when we first got her. Like my dad's sister had passed away actually when I was growing up, and she had a almost like full-blooded pitty, big, boxy, and she was cropped, so her ears are pointed straight up. And that definitely helps when they have that fat head and the big ears. Like they look twice as scary.
But was that one?
She was I think she was like mostly pit bull. I don't think she had too much else mixed in there because like really you could spot her and know what she was from a mile away, and people would like cross the street when they saw us coming. And we had like a golden lab at the time.
Ooh.
And we had to get rid of her because the two of them would not get along. They both were like maybe like around 5 or 6, and like kind of trying to introduce like 2 females is really kind of hard apparently anyway. And her name was Sweet Pea. She'd never met us before. Sweet Pea.
Oh, Sweet
like
Pea.
the flower. She'd never met us before we got her. So it was like a weird place, a completely new dog that she had to like try and make connection with. There were cats in the house at the time. We had like a bunch of cats growing up. We used to like ride horses. We would like bring home barn cats all the time.
Wow.
So there was just like a lot immediately going on for her. Like we already kind of knew that wasn't going to work out. And we tried to originally give her away. And nobody wanted her. So we ended up giving away our dog to keep Sweet Pea. And it ended up working out fine. Like she went to my dad's friend from work.
Wait, you got rid of that dog that you had before to keep the new dog?
Oh yeah.
That's weird.
Well, we couldn't find anybody who would want the pit bull because just like how she looked, but also like the area we grew in growing up. Like I don't remember anybody around us having a pit bull. I can't remember a single person until like later on. There was a guy right down the street from us who would foster and rescue. So pit bulls coming in and out all the time, and we would like meet them and say hi. But like that, I don't think that started happening until I was like well into my teenage years. Like we got Sweet Pea when I was like 6 or 7. So like I have pictures of like very little me with Sweet Pea, and she's a huge, scary looking dog, and like that never occurred to me that she would be scary. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's the thing. It's just propaganda, you know. Like, like what I've seen about pit bull is always like they have it for fights or you know, or whatever. They're always portrayed as a bad dogs. They send us
the same way German Shepherds used to be like terrifying. They'd be like, they're only police dogs. Like you don't want that with your family.
I love German Shepherds.
They're such good family dogs. They are so loving. They are super protective. So like you do have to be careful, and they do need a ton of room, like backyard wise, to get some of that energy out for sure because they're huge. But like you could get
Rottweilers. Remember Rottweilers?
Yeah,
they use it for a lot of horror movies and stuff. So you see one and you're like,
but they're such happy babies.
Sweethearts too.
Boxers
similar to
even.
Happened to Doberman.
Yeah. Yes, Dobermans for sure.
Doberman is like so serious of a dog.
They're like tall. The tall and the ears. They definitely look like they could get you. And they're in movies a lot too. They're always like behind like a fence that the main character is not supposed to get through. Like 2 Dobermans will run out and you're like, oh.
Even in animation movies, they put us the serious dog, almost like
he always has like a super tough voice,
right?
Yeah, he's a tough boy. I think that's an Up. I think that animated movie with the old man and the little boy.
They have a Doberman in Up. I don't remember that one.
Do you remember they meet that guy who he like has the dog's collars that talks?
Thing, right?
Yes. And the dog with I think it's a Doberman has like a super tough voice, but then it, like his collar breaks and then he has a really small one, right?
Yeah. You know the whole movie is about going to Venezuela?
Angels
Fall.
Something Fall, yeah.
Angels Fall, yeah.
Angel Falls, yeah.
So that's the purpose in Venezuela. It's a beautiful place that I never got to see in person. Probably one day, maybe I'll go there and see it. It will be nice. But yeah, it was cool to see in a movie. I've been in America for 19 years. Yeah. I just been in Venezuela once for a week and came back.
Just out of preference, you don't go back often? Or I know you were saying there's like a lot of...
The politics are messed, you know. It's a lot of...
Does it like hinder your travel? Or you just like don't really have interest in going back?
It's a little everything. I became an American citizen and my Venezuelan passport expired. So now I cannot find a way to... right now, I don't know, because now my family is here and my mother and my brother and the rest of my family is spread around the world because everybody left Venezuela for the problems with the politics. But when I tried to renew my Venezuelan passport, it was kind of impossible. And then United States and Venezuela got kind of bullshit politics. So if I want to go to Venezuela, I need to get a visa. Crazy, right?
And you're like,
And I have to travel with my American passport to Venezuela. And that kind of scared me a little bit. And so I don't know. I want to go just because I have friends from childhood there. I would love to see. And I would love to bring Andres.
To like show him around.
And show him around and my daughter and show them like this was my high school. This was my whatever, you know.
Like I could get that. And but yeah.
That I would love to do, but it's so dangerous right now. And mostly the corruption of the country. You don't know who to trust or not. So it's like, I don't
Would there be an issue with you bringing like your son is like an American citizen? Is there like any issue with you being American at this point? Like from the general population in Venezuela?
Like if it was a normal country as I was before, let's say, I could have given my son a Venezuelan passport for being my son, being myself a Venezuelan, and we could just go there on vacations and that's all. But now he have American passport, so he need also a visa to go there. and we will need to travel as Americans, and it's weird,
Yeah. Have they taken away like dual citizenship in general, or just like because?
As far as I heard, no. You can still keep both. I don't know if they changed that because kind of.
There's a lot going on.
Yeah, I kind of like cut myself off from all the news and stuff because it's super depressing, when you still love your country and you see them being destroyed by fucking selfish assholes. So yeah, I try to don't even look to the news.
Gotcha.
I in general, not even here. I try to stay away from news, because they're depressing.
Oh my God, I know.
Yeah.
Both my parents will watch the news every day. I'm like, how do you do it?
I know.
They sit there and they watch it. I'm like, I don't even know what you're getting out of this, honestly.
I keep saying my mother, don't watch the news. She's like, so where you say you're going? You say you're going to LA? Yeah. Oh, I heard it's a hurricane coming.
Don't tell me.
You know what I mean? Where you going, Florida? Oh, I heard it's another hurricane coming. Be careful. And there was this thing where happened. Vieja, I said, like, old lady. Vieja, that's how I call my mom, by love.
In a nice way.
Stay away from the news. I keep repeating it, but she's
the two of them,
I need to
same
check.
way.
I need to check. It's like,
that's how they get. I mean, they grew up getting their information from the actual news source.
Yeah.
Where I've told my mom multiple times, I'm like, if it doesn't trend on Twitter, I probably don't need to know what it was, honestly.
I know.
Like,
and still a lot of shit trending Twitter that we don't need to know about it. Meaning, something bad happened somewhere, whatever. You don't need to listen to that. It's just that I wish it was a balance between all that shit, the bad news that they throw to you, and good news. So at least you feel like, oh, the world is not such a crappy place. But they just want to throw you that shit all the time.
That's for views, probably.
Yeah, definitely. Click, just clickbait.
Bad stuff.
Keep
bad
people
stuff.
there just watching and getting scared about bullshit. That
Both of them. Are
one of the things that I
everything.
hate the most, one of the things that I hate the most is how they perceive that all American hates all Latino. You know what I mean? Or all white people hate all minorities, and it's not true. And I keep listening to that mess. No anymore because I don't watch news, so I don't know if it's still happening. But when Trump won the elections and all those times, it was so much like, hey, like I was so scared to travel around the country here in America because I felt like, oh, now people gonna probably attack my family if we walk in any random city.
Well, there's definitely
it's bullshit. But
there's definitely some stuff with Asians recently also.
Oh no, it always happens,
right? There's stuff
it's the same with the blacks. It's the same with the Hispanic people.
That kind of stuff. That I feel like that should be on the news. People should know that's happening so they can watch out for it, so things can be changed. But there are definitely things where you see it's just it's just scaremongering. Like they really just want.
But what I
going.
feel sometimes is that it's not as bad as the new make it seem.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like it's not only out of proportion, but also they're making it like a 24-hour story when really it could be like a footnote.
Yes.
And you're like, obviously something bad is happening.
If something very bad is happening, they should definitely let people know about this Asian crime.
Yes.
How you say racial crime?
Yes, hate crimes. And the spike in that, I think, was the initial story.
Definitely, they should talk about it.
Yes.
It's very important. But sometimes, I don't know, it's a very thin line where I feel like there is a lot of bad people that they're hidden on the rock somewhere in their houses or in their towns or whatever, because they know if they come out with bullshit, people gonna destroy them. Even if, let's say, white people, that is bad people. So, let's say, for example, right? They know they hate on somebody or some race or whatever, but they keep it quiet because they know that they won't get accepted by their own peer, right? Their own even race, let's call it. But with the news, somehow they now feel like, oh, so now we can go out and do shit to people because everybody's doing it. Like they kind of feel supported.
See other people doing it.
Kind of seeing other people doing it. So I feel like news sometimes kind of put more gasoline into that. You know what I mean?
For sure. I mean, you get that with not that we've had one in a while, but serial killers. Remember when serial killers were a huge thing? And they would have shit on the news. What's his friggin' name?
Ted Bundy right now.
The son of Sam. Do you remember he used to send letters and stuff to the cops? That was part of his deal. Mm-hmm. So he demanded that they like be put in newspaper and like all kinds of stuff or whatever. He would do that. And then other people saw that and started copying him.
You good?
I'm good.
Okay.
But like, yeah, you get copycats because it's nonstop when it's on the news. Like,
yes.
That's all they want to talk about.
So it's hard, right? Because I want them to let everybody know that this shit is happening. So, we can help to protect the one that needs to be protected.
But the 24-hour news cycle makes it way more than it needs to be. And
also, like, for me, when things were about Hispanic, right? About Hispanic, come here, or whatever. So I was afraid to travel. But then I have to travel for any given reason. And I realized that people was still being as cool as they were. Yeah. Like, I got interactions with police officers in random cities, and still they were nice. They weren't trying to arrest me just because I was Hispanic or profiling. And it's, again, of course, a lot of bad things happen all the time.
Yes.
But what I'm trying to say in particular is that I stay away out of the news because most of the time they're bad news. They're trying to keep you scared all the time.
I think that's 100% true. There's a lot of it that I think is targeted at people like my parents, where they want you to keep watching. Yeah. So they are constantly kind of trying to make it seem like you need all this new information. Where they're on 24/7, so they're pumping out the same kind of thing over and over and over again because they know, like, somebody like my mom is like, what's happening? What's going on? Like, she wants to know all the details, and then she'll come to us and try and like give us the down low, basically, and you'll be like, I don't really care.
It's that kind of generation of people, right? In that kind of age that is still watching the news.
Yeah, they're used to getting actual information from the news. But then, I mean, I think there have been like surveys where like people under the age of like 60 and down pretty much get their info from online anyway. You might get it from Facebook. Some people are getting it from Facebook. But I think like if I'm going to have news pop up on my phone, it's going to be from Twitter. It'll be like something in the news part of the feed in your like Discover, right? So I can go to the news and see like stuff that's happened today around the world. And if I want to see that, or I can like look at random crap that doesn't really matter, like some celebrity's birthday, or like Meghan Markle had her next baby, and like, like that stuff. Like, you can kind of pepper in like, how bad do you want to feel today? Like, if you don't really want to like get into it and see a bunch of terrible stuff, like you don't have to anymore. Yeah. Whereas like, if my mom's going to turn on the TV and watch the news, like in the morning, I feel like is like their like happy hour. So it's like two happy ladies like with margaritas or something, like having like a morning chat, and they're happy for like 2 hours. And then like the rest of the day is like dread. Like, it's so much, I don't know. It's just too much, I think,
it's to kind of watch on.
It's gotta be. I don't know how you do that as a job. Just report bad stuff all day, every day.
I know, right?
That's gotta be annoying.
It's like, yeah, you get paid a lot of money, I'm assuming, and fame, you in TV, everybody get to know you. But knowing that you just, I wonder if how many people know that work in that field? How many people know in their heart, like, we're doing shit just for money. I don't care about humankind. I got to throw this bullshit in their faces just to keep them attached to the TV and keep giving me money, or to my TV station, whatever, so they keep paying me a lot of money for this. Or how many people is like, oh no, it's important to keep people informed, and we gotta give them this information because it's really important for us to.
It might be a little of both, because I also feel like there's that scenario where you're like, yeah, I'm reporting like this crap today, but I'm also working on this very important story that I'm gonna share as soon as it's done, and like, so they like kind of see it as like, I'll stay on this platform so that I have this platform when I'm like ready to do something else. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, I follow what you're saying. Yeah,
like investigative reporters used to do that. I'm sure they still do, but like, during the week, they're running like clickbait on the website, but they're working on something very important.
Deep for the beginning.
Yes, exactly. But like all week, they're just like, here's fucking, I don't know, the best vacation spots.
It's also kind of sad in somehow that reporters now, if they're working in some news, or some report, how you call it?
A report.
A report, like, they spend 2-3 weeks, they travel, they interview a lot of people and do a lot of shit, and they put together like a 20 minutes clip for like 3 weeks of work. 1 minute later, it disappeared in the news because the Kardashian photo or whatever. Everybody started talking about something,
That's infuriating. Like, there's definitely things like, what is it? The New York Times. I don't know how like legitimate they are anymore because I know a lot of it is online and people hate that.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you have very important news for us, but we have to like pay to see it. So I don't know. But like, there's times where they'll be like, oh, we spent the last like 2 years investigating this and reporting on it. And they have all this information, all this support. And like, it'll get posted to Twitter as like 10 screenshots of like part of something. And then people only focus on that. And they run with that. And like, yeah, it might be like a very bad, very important part of the piece, but like then it's gone once everybody talks about it, gets their opinion out, then you're like, okay, it's gone now. Unless it continues in some way, like a scandal of some type, if it's gonna like, I don't know, go to court or something and it keeps rolling, like that's the only time I feel like it keeps building. Whereas everything else is like you read it today, by Friday nobody remembers.
So there is a local newspaper. It's so bad. So bad. But meaning this person, this lady that is in charge of these reports or whatever, is clear. I hate that it's so clear that it's just there for the bait, let's say.
Yeah, you're clickbait.
For the ads. Because if you scroll, you pay for the service, right? The newspaper is not free. You have to pay whatever money for that newspaper. That's it. I don't know, $5 a month. I don't know how much it costs.
Okay.
But still, it's a lot of advertising. So when you see the title is like, you have no time. You have to take control of this situation right now. So you're like, oh my God, what is happening?
Yeah,
you open it, and then you start reading. Or let's say, for example, somebody got arrested for this shooting, whatever it is. I don't know. So you open it, and then you're like, oh my God, what is happening? Maybe it's near me. So you start reading. It's like, we have to blah, 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 and find out that. And then you have to scroll through like 20 advertising in second page to keep reading a little more. But it's not saying nothing through the whole thing. Yeah. And then at the end, it wasn't even a news. It was a news or anything.
It's basically like some info about that headline and that's it.
Sometimes like, it's not even that related to the headline at all. Or it's but it was a wasting of your time to pages of just advertising.
I agree with that.
Oh my God. Or the grammar is so bad. Like even for me that have like, such a bad grammar in English.
Yeah. I mean, that's happening on every platform. Even like, obviously news is kind of fallen out a bit just because people are focusing on, like we're saying, trending news if they feel like it at all. But like your ads on Facebook and ads on Instagram, like constant shit. Like I'm trying to see what my friends did this afternoon, and they're just like, we saw you looked at this on Amazon, so here it is now, and you're like, shut up.
Oh my God, yeah.
Shut up. Yeah, that stuff's weird. I hate that, honestly.
Right?
Plaguing.
I know.
It's so crazy.
Anyway, enough on bad news and news and stuff. Who cares about it? Not right now.
Who cares about the
us
news?
Right now. That sounds so bad. Who cares about the news? Yeah, we care about the news, but we don't want to talk about that so much right now.
I just don't want to talk about it.
You like Comic-Con, right? And all that kind of festivals or conventions, or how you call them?
Conventions. Yeah. Depends on what kind it is. So you have if you have like a medieval festival, that's a festival. Okay. It's usually outside.
You do those too?
Yes.
And you dress up for those too?
Yes. Yes,
you're like, Javier, of course.
Of
what
course
are you talking about, Javier?
Have you not seen this? Yes.
Yeah, I remember you man, I don't know. I should know more, but I don't know more. Sorry.
That's okay.
But you were dressing as something. You got ears?
Which one? I have elven
ears.
I have elven ears. I have different colored wigs. Is that what you're saying?
Man, oh yeah, pink something.
I have a pink wig. I have a green one.
With a backpack, I guess.
With a backpack.
I don't know. Maybe that was your backpack.
I don't think I have a backpack. I have like a wings thing for so like if I'm going to the festival, like I might put on like elf ears and maybe like fairy wings or something.
Also Star Wars, right?
I have a lot of Star Wars.
So wait, you always been into the Comic-Cons and dressing up and all of that?
No, I haven't. I don't know like even how long ago I started going to those. Like I've been going to tattoo conventions for years, obviously. Probably as long as I've known you, even longer, I guess, because I got 2 tattoos before I met you at conventions. So like I'm hip to the convention scene. So lame. But they have in Tampa right there, like the same spot that holds your tattoo convention has like a Comic-Con the next week every time. So like there's multiple Comic-Cons, and like Megatron I think is like one that goes through Orlando, or MegaCon or something like that. They have like 4 or 5 that come through and tour. And then there's another one I think it's more anime than it is like superheroes. That one, I think it was in Fort Lauderdale like 2 years ago, and I think it was supposed to be in Orlando or Tampa, but COVID got that pushed back. So I'm not even sure if it's moved or not, but there's like multiple that come through Tampa that I ended up just kind of popping into.
Like you got into that after you moved to Florida, or you used to do it here too?
I think I've been to one up here. I don't think so. And I've been like invited to go out to the big one that's in California, but I haven't gone.
I saw a little one in California, but it was in Pasadena. Just because I was in the tattoo convention, and next door is another place where you can also do conventions, I guess.
More conventions, yeah.
And they had a small kind of comics or whatever you call them. I remember I met one of the girls from Power Rangers. Ooh. The pink girl from the Power Rangers from, I don't know, right now she looked like 40-something, I guess.
Yeah,
so
probably
was one of the old ones, the first, I don't know, when was a blonde girl lady.
I had to be like, that's late 90s-ish, right? Going into 2000,
probably,
I think.
Yeah,
It's probably
was
by the end
Venezuela,
of that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, she's a little bit older, but she looks good. Yeah. I've seen her too.
Oh, you seen it?
I haven't met her in person. I haven't like lined up to do interviews or signings. I've met Stan Lee in person.
Ooh.
I shook his hand. And then
wow.
I've met a couple like random people, but not like I didn't stand in the line to do photos and stuff.
Where you meet him? In Tampa convention?
In Orlando, he was there. And he had like a super big line, and I got to just like walk up to the front of it, and they were just like, "This person's working the convention today," and he was like, "Oh," and so I like got to just like cut a ton of people. Like the line for him was like over an hour long, and I just like got to like walk up the side. It was just like, "Hey, what's up?" Wow.
That have to be a nice experience.
That was so nice, and I think he only passed away like two years later, maybe. So like, he was still like pretty much touring up through until he got super ill, where he was not really mobile anymore. They were trying to keep him home, but like he was touring for a ton of that, and like he even when he feels bad, he's there for the fans. So I mean, he was a super cool dude. Yeah. He just like so happy to see people. He was just like, but he's like cranking out signatures. Like literally, people are like his staff, his team is set up at like a long table, and like they meet you at the top of the line, and they're like, "What is your name? Like, what are you getting?" And they'll be like, "Oh, I have this poster." So that's like $20 or something. So that person like takes your money and like puts the poster down and has like it sends over to the next person, and then they'll be like waiting, and then he's like 2 or 3 people down, and so they literally just keep passing it, and then when it gets to him, they'll be like, "This is Tom," and he's getting the poster signed, and he's like, "Hi, Tom," and he'll like shake your hand, and then he like signs it, and then he like passes it off to like, and so like he has to meet like 1,000, 2,000 people in a day.
Wow.
Like, and he's there usually like the whole weekend, honestly. Like he spends a lot of like Saturdays and Sundays. So like, yeah, he was crazy busy.
I did a small convention in Orlando. Not that small, it was pretty cool. But horror convention.
Oh yeah.
So it was a couple of it was like 10 tattoo booths in one of the rooms, and the rest of the show was for horror. Yeah,
there's some where they do the tattoo setups like in the room.
Mm-hmm. So nice.
Yeah, that's really cool. I've seen that too.
Like so many of the famous.
MegaCon maybe does that?
No, that one was.
But it was like for horror specific.
Horror specific. So it's like I don't know.
I don't think it's HorrorCon. It's something like that, though.
I wish I remember the name, because I received still emails from the convention.
Oh, man. I don't know if I think I've only been to 2 in Orlando, because it's a bit of a drive for me. But, like, the 2 I went to were definitely...
Spooky Empire? Spooky something is the name of that convention. The Spooky something, yeah.
I don't recognize it, honestly.
I don't know, but it's super cool. It was a bunch of famous people from
actors
the movie, actors and stuff. Oh, the same thing, signing with the table, taking photos,
all kinds of shit. Yeah,
pretty cool.
They had Jason Momoa or something at one not that long ago, and who else was it? Oh, Kate Beckinsale was there in I think 2019 at the Tampa one, and like I saw her in person, but again I didn't talk to her. But she like walked in with her staff to like go over to the area where they do the like private pictures and stuff. So she like waves and says hi to everybody.
Nice.
But like they have some like super famous people come through.
Is Andrew into that too?
He is now, yeah. That I brought him. He was like, "Yep, this is my people." He like dressed up. Did you see the recent Spider-Man multiverse, the animated one? It's got Miles Morales, isn't it?
Yes.
So good.
So good.
We love that movie.
So good.
He dressed up as like the fat Peter Parker in the most recent one we went to. So we got him like a trench coat from like a thrift store, I think, and he had already had a t-shirt, I think, that he wore underneath, and he wore like one of his work boots and a sneaker, and he just like kind of has like that kind of scruffy look most of the time anyway. So he was just like, this is my outfit, and people loved it. We had like multiple people ask for photos with him. I was like, yes, you're doing it.
Yeah, my son loved that movie. He got
so
obsessed. He was very little. What was he? Probably 2 and something. And he was singing around the main song of the Post Malone, I think.
Sunflower.
Yes. Post Malone, right? Yeah.
Yeah, Post Malone and somebody else. That's like the title song for that movie.
He still say, let me play some music in my phone. So I get the phone and start playing that song. He loved that song still.
That movie's so good.
Upset. It's good. Super good.
I recommend that to everybody. It's so good to watch, but like the animation is amazing, and just like the characters are so good. Mm-hmm. I love that.
I love the animation. I love the style. All the effects that they do, the style of the buildings. I love it.
Even like they have that scene with him doing graffiti, and just like the way the animation moves with him is like so cool. Like this, it's so like the flow of it is just like very stylistic, and you're just like, this is so awesome.
There is a new movie, another animation we just watched. Oh my God. I always repeat this. I have such a bad memory for movies.
That's
name
okay.
of the movie, name of characters, director.
If you describe anything to me, I might be able to nail it.
It's a girl. Man, the animation was so good too, because it's a girl that wanna go to.
It's a girl going somewhere.
What is that movie about?
Where does she go?
I don't remember.
Tell me. It's a girl going somewhere.
What is this movie about? I wish I remember. Oh my God, sorry. But the animation is kind of have the style. I think she wanna be an artist. She draw all the time. It's new, very new. I think it's in Netflix or something. I don't know.
Draw.
My memory.
It's not the one where she builds a rocket. That's a newer one too on Netflix.
Maybe it's that one.
Does she build a rocket and go to the moon?
Yes, maybe it's that. Yeah.
What is the name of that one? It might be like Over the Moon. It's something like that, but it's
that one has good animation style. Like they mix some.
It's
kind
similar.
of random drawings around her when.
God, honestly,
sorry,
I saw that. I watched that when it first came on there, and I honestly can't remember 100%. But it's that kind of like bubbly looking animation where like very soft edges, like her face is very like round and everything. Like things are like realistic in some sense, but like it's very obviously supposed to be cartoony. Do you know what I mean?
But what I feel like I like is that they mix random
like different
drawings,
styles of art into it.
Different style of art, random some other style of drawings into it. That I like a lot.
Yeah.
Is that movie the kid that is building the rocket?
It might be that one. I don't.
Probably, right?
She does do like what do you call that? She's like doing calculations or whatever in her head, and you can see like.
Probably it's that one then.
Maybe.
Yes. Because she's building the rocket next to a train or something to use magnetism. That's the one you said, right?
I think that's it.
I think it's the same movie, yeah. Probably.
I want to say it's called Over the Moon or something like that. But like, it's super cute.
It's cute movie.
There's a lot of those. There's a new one on there I saw last night that somebody said was like, oh no, it's not on Netflix. It's on Disney Plus. It's a new little cartoon.
Disney. Which one is that one? There is one with two kids that look like mermaids or something. I don't know. That's a new one. There is another one of the jazz player.
Oh, I saw that one. Soul.
Nice.
That one's super good.
Super good.
Oh my God, that one was really good. Yeah, no, I really like that one. I didn't see the newest one. I just saw the image for it the other day, and I've seen people online saying it's really good.
Raja is a new one too that I haven't seen.
Roger?
Raja. Maybe. Raya. Maybe. Raja.
The dragon one that came out in the theaters, right?
There is one about
Raya. Yeah, Raya and the Last Dragon, maybe? I want to say that's how it is. It kind of has like a Mulan kind of vibe to it, but she's a different Asian descent. I can't remember where she's supposed to be from. Polynesian or something?
No idea.
She's got a dragon who is voiced by... What is that girl? The girl who has like a water name. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like...
No.
Yes. Oh my God, I'm sure you know what it is. It's like my brain is going to Santi, but that's not right. It's something like that. But she's like a comedian actor. Avian? That's closer, but that's not quite right. Shit, what is it? Aquafina. That's what it is. That's what it is.
That's the name?
That's what it is. That's her name. Yeah, she voices the dragon in it. That's the newest Disney one, I think. That one was supposed to come out in theaters.
Is Avian a water? No, right?
Yes, Avian is a water.
I think that's the one that I like. No.
It's the one with like a little mountain on it.
That green label? Oh my God.
Fiji's a green label.
I don't know. Anyway.
I think Avian's, it's like a little blue mountain with, I think, pink lettering.
Oh, yes.
I think that's Avian.
I think
Dasani is like that crap. I think it's Pepsi or Coke owns it, and it's just tap water from Texas put in bottles.
I never understood that people love to buy bottled water because, it's cleaner or whatever.
Or something.
A lot of people, because the water is cleaner because it's not from the tap at home.
It is not.
But
half of it is tap
how
water.
many times I have? No, and also they do recalls. Oh yeah, we want to recall all this batch of water that we put in the market 3 months ago. At that point, everybody already drank.
Yeah, it's already gone.
Oh my God.
Yeah, there's a ton of them that have like, which one is it? I want to say it might be Dasani. It's the one you can get at McDonald's, whichever brand that is. I want to say it might be Dasani, but it's like the only one that when you crack it, it like fizzes, and people are like, "Why does it have bubbles in it? Why is it fizzy?" Mm-hmm. And they have like done studies of like what is like the chemical makeup, because each place they filter the water and then they add stuff back into it to change the taste. So when you filter water, it takes like the mineral content out of it, which is where your like flavor in water comes from. So like Dasani adds back like a bunch of random shit and like salt and other things, and you're like, okay. But it is the worst tasting water, like by far. It's gross. And it's the only one that fizzes for whatever reason. And then people are like, I don't want that one at all. And like it has like a higher salt content than it should to make you thirsty on purpose. And you're like, God. Wow, you suck.
Are you sure what you're saying?
They'll tell you. I know. Well, you can Google it because they'll tell you. Oh, it's to enhance flavor. Mm-hmm. This is what we have in it. Blah 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 blah. But people, there are like whole channels on YouTube where like a person gives like a real review on different types of water. Wow. Like his whole deal is like he buys all different kinds of water and compares them. And like the one guy I can picture, I can't remember his channel, but I've seen the video of him. He like tries Dasani. He like almost barfs. He's like gagging. He's like, it's so bad. Like it's the worst water he's ever tasted. And I was like, yeah, that's kind of how I feel when I drink Dasani.
Yeah, I don't know.
Dasani's terrible.
I like, what is that name? Is that green label? It's the only water I like in bottles. I mean, there is a couple of the new ones.
If it's squarish, that one, I'm saying that's Fiji. I can't think of like a green label. Oh, you're looking for it somewhere here.
Because I always...
Honestly, no idea.
No, I don't remember anyway. That's the one I look for. There is a bunch of new ones like those there, but I don't know.
Smart water?
Yeah, I don't know. Yes, probably. They taste okay. They don't taste funny or anything. And because I like it super cold, that kill a lot of the weird flavors most of the time of waters. But I know there is one that I don't like at all, but I don't remember the name. And if I remember, I don't want to say it because I don't want to get in trouble. But I really dislike the flavor. That is like the plastic flavor or something.
Yeah, some of them like taste awful. And you're like, water's not really supposed to have like a flavor necessarily, but you'll taste like one that you're used to or you like, and then you'll taste like another one that somebody handed you and you're like, oh, no, I'm good.
I'm
so
good.
Plasticky.
I love cold water, super cold water. So at home, I keep a jar in the fridge that is my jar. Yeah. So everybody knows it. So I drink from the jar. I don't pour in glass. I don't waste that kind of time. And it's always super cold, but it's tap water.
Yeah, tap water.
Tap water. I love tap water.
We have one of those like Brita filter water bottles I got. Mm-hmm. I have that in the fridge all the time, just filled with water. And like that is so nice. It's so cold and like I don't mind drinking out of the tap. But like, yeah, I like cold water. I'd prefer it cold.
And I like it in glass rather than plastic. I feel like it's zero flavor. You know what I mean? Like sometimes by accident you put something in the refrigerator like an onion or something that everything tastes like
flavors that. Things around it. Yes.
We don't do that. My wife will kill me. But
can you imagine?
But whatever it is, every spray that smells to stuff, or even when you wash it, sometimes absorb the smell of either the dishwasher soap or your sponge or whatever. I feel that plastic is disgusting. Or we have a smell in it or residues of oil or whatever, and that glass is easier to keep super clean.
Yeah. Andrew will make stuffed peppers, and he'll take one to work for a friend of his sometimes. But like that person takes home that container, washes it, brings it back to us, and it'll still be like kind of orange. And you wash it again, so it's been washed twice, and it still smells like pepper in it.
Right.
And you're like, so I mean,
and you put water and you see how it looks like oily almost, like still, you know what I mean? Like
I hope not, but like, oh my God. And he also uses those containers for like his daily lunch. So I'm like, I hope that's fine because it looks technically clean.
I remember when I was working construction, we always joke around that we pay this lady to cook for us, right? So we bring good food instead of eating random sandwich every place that we work. But it was to a point that after a certain time, all the food, it was like, let me see what texture I'm eating today. Because like, okay, if you get pork chop, it's different texture than steak or meatballs or pasta or whatever. So it's different texture, but everything tastes the same. Because those containers absorb so much of the, you know what I mean, of the flavor of the food.
I get you.
That kind of everything tastes the same and smells the same. It was, it was good food, but after like a month, you're like, ugh.
I'm a little over that.
Yeah.
I get you.
Yeah, it was rough. More than once in those rough summer, the food went bad.
Oh my God.
We wouldn't put in cooler. We would try to keep it like, in those whatever things that you carry food around.
Your lunch pail.
Your lunch
pail or box.
Box or whatever. But it was not like enough. So food sometimes goes bad when you
leave it
at lunchtime, super hungry, open that thing and
because I'm not eating today.
I guess I'm not eating today.
Andrew will like bring like a sandwich. He brings like 10 snacks in his lunchbox every day. So he has like a sandwich in there that's like his actual lunch, but he has like an apple and like all random like granola bars and things to eat. But there's still days where he's like, he comes home and he'll be like, oh yeah, we had pizza today, or like, oh we went to Burger King today, and I'm like, but you ate your sandwich also? And he's like, well yeah, and then whoever like Tom wanted to go to Burger King, and you're like, and you also had Burger King, like, oh my God, like you eat so much at work, like at least you're eating, I guess.
Yeah, but he worked hard and it's hot there, so he need to kind of keep prep.
Yeah, what do you call it? Almost like a factory type setting. It's like a big warehouse building, but they send the trucks through. So he's like in like an open air facility technically, but it's hot. And he has like those big like industrial fans. They just like point at different trucks, and he's like, that's it. That's all you get. Yeah. Especially if he's like inside the truck, like you get nothing. If he's working inside the truck trying to get stuff done.
And sometimes you're outside, you're just getting hot air pushed to you.
Yeah. Or if it's raining, you get that like muggy wet air pushed in, even though it's like it's technically like cool air. It's wet, and you're like, that's not helpful at all. He definitely comes back smelling like he's been outside all day. Yay! So cute.
So, are you still doing more modeling in the current style, like magazines and stuff like that? You're resting? What you been doing?
Not so much, especially after like COVID.
COVID, yeah.
So, I mean, that was pretty much going into March last year, right? Kind of March-ish. And they like shut things down in Tampa pretty much right away. So like we didn't really see anybody. I think I did the calendar just because I could get my friend to do it, but like I wasn't really shooting at all. Like we would basically, like Andrew and I would like go out into town or something, go for a walk, a lot of like parks and stuff around, just trying to get out of the house. And I would just like have him take like random cell phone photos, honestly, just so I could like have random stuff to post in between. But like there are so many people who just like didn't have any work to post at all last year.
What do you do for your calendars? Do you do like themes every year, a theme, or every month? Or
I've been doing theme calendars. Like the first 2, I think I just did like a bunch of random photos from the year that I liked. So I don't know, if I had like random sets with different photographers all the way through, I would just pick like different photos I liked and have 12 different photos. And then I did a shoot with Jess where I basically was like, not like a theme necessarily, but I was like, I kind of had like a look to it I wanted. So I had rented this like cute little Airbnb in St. Pete. And there's like so many cute things in St. Pete, but this house was like really small. It's basically like cottage size. And she has it set up with like a very like 70s, 60s vibe. So there was like a very 60s plaid couch, and she has like a record player and like a lot of like cutesy wood furniture and like just real small and cute. And I was like, I want to shoot here. And I just like brought random stuff, and we just shot just around the property. So all the photos were from that spot, but they all like are different images, obviously. So 12 different images from inside the same place. And then the year
with Jessica, you say?
With Jessica. And then so like the 2020 calendar, I did a rainbow. So each page, the background was a color, and then my whole outfit, whatever I was wearing, was the same color. Cool. So like January all the way through December is its own color. So red, yellow, orange, green, 2 different versions of green, 3 different blues, I think, purple, pink, white in the end. And so like each outfit matches the background. And it was just like super cute. I was like obsessed with that when I came out. And then last year I just wanted to do something like relatively easy, because I didn't want us to have to like go to a location. I didn't want to have to do something like outside, or I didn't want to have to like accidentally be around people with everything still happening. So I basically set it up where I was like, let's do it almost like art studio way, where like you just have a backdrop, like any color. And I was like, and I'll kind of just like think of an idea, but we'll shoot everything like at his apartment. Basically, he has like a big setup.
That was Blake's?
Yes, he has like a big setup in his apartment where he has like multiple backdrops he can pull down, and all the lighting, all the cool lights like you have set up already. So he was just like, yeah, whatever you want to do. And I kind of decided on like a flower theme. So I basically just went to, what do you call that place? Trader Joe's. Bought a ton of fresh flowers day of. And I just like showed up at his house with like all these bouquets, and I was just like, we're just gonna like mix and match them and do shit with them. And he was like, okay. And so that's what we ended up doing. We just kind of like threw it together, but in the way that I kind of envisioned it going. Like I had like pose ideas and things already like in my head of like what kind of flowers I would use, and then we just like went for it.
You were trying to match like flower with colors, or flower with moss,
just like kind of,
or just random.
Just random, almost just like I had like a vibe for each month going. So I like had he has like a bunch of potted big kind of floral, not even floral, leafy, a lot of like Florida-ish leafy kind of rainforesty looking big potted plants in his apartment. And I was like, I want to like sit in and around those and have like all the green, right? And then I have other photos where I have like specifically pink or white flowers in it, and that kind of maybe has to go with my outfit if anything, but like it might not. And then I had like ones where I wanted to do like I had these really cute little nylon socks that I have that have like a little ruffle across the top and little polka dots on them, and they're like white. And I was like, if I'm standing like on my tippy toes, I wanted to like tuck flowers like into the top of the socks. And then we just like scattered petals underneath it. And so like that's something. And like, so we had like little ideas in mind, but we kind of literally just went into it and we were like, we'll see what we make.
But that's one day job?
That's one day. We did that in maybe 4 hours, got it all shot. But like I like kind of had a plan going into it, but not really. And then me and him have shot a dozen times. Like I've known him for years since I moved down here. So like he kind of already knows like what my vibe is coming in, but we just kind of went into it.
And you have to change clothing per month, let's say that way. You change clothing, makeup, you change makeup, or now you in that one, for example, the last one.
In that one, not so much. I think I used like maybe like 4 or 5 different outfits total. But I like, so depending on how I was posed, like you may or may not even see what it is. So like some of them I was like holding the flowers up, so you wouldn't even like necessarily see what I have behind it. So each image looks very different from the next, kind of with not even intentionally necessarily, but it wasn't supposed to be like each month was completely different than the last. It was more of like, I had like an ethereal is what I was thinking. And the way he shot it for me has almost like a painting kind of look to it. It has like that kind of like very dark gray background, and it's almost like softened the way that it's not like a super sharp photo necessarily. It's like very soft and kind of almost like it looks like a painting. So it's very much like just like a vibe all the way through. It's not necessarily each month representing something as much as like it's kind of story-esque all the way through.
I like both, but I like the idea.
Yeah,
too.
I really did enjoy doing like each, like the rainbow one, having like a completely different outfit and a different look and different like background. That was super fun and really cool to get done. But like way more work, obviously. Like each month I had to put up the background, the colored background, either put it up or take it down. Change the outfit. I was changing the hair so that it wasn't the same in every photo. So like each setup, that took us like 7 hours to get that done. We did that over a long day, but just because we had to have everything all together at once. So that was why we did that so fast. But I needed Andrew's help, like setting, he was doing backgrounds for me while I was like changing or whatever. Like Jess is like changing lighting depending on what we're doing. Like all day. It took, we weren't done until like after 10 o'clock at night and we hadn't eaten yet. Like her and I were like dying by the end of it.
Yeah, but even though I've always thought it would be like a week.
It depends on what it is. Like there are times where her and I will set up and we'll do something over like 2 days, or she'll shoot something for me like early in the year and I'll like want to revisit that later and like pull from multiple stuff. But like, if I'm doing like the theme, like I'm one of those people, like I'm focused on getting it done because I like have it all laid out. So like if I was going to do the colors and I was going to like break that into pieces, that would have drove me insane. I would have been like, I like have to make sure each whole color outfit is together and ready to go with the background. And like, oh my God. And I always had to like steam the background colors to make sure they're all like flat. It's so many steps. So just knocking it all out in one day, super hard.
What is a steam?
Steam, what do you call that? A clothing steamer. So it gets the wrinkles out of fabric so that it lays flat. Instead of her having to go in and like fix the background on Photoshop or something like that to make it look more like a flat color.
Yes. Wow.
Took time.
And normally you get all ready to send to print like a couple of months earlier? Or?
I usually have everything ready to go by October 1st is when I usually start. I have pre-sale usually. So I usually get like maybe like 30 to 50 orders in October. But then I start like pushing it as like especially some people send them as gifts to each other. So you have to have your order in by like December 1st because I make them to order. I don't have a bunch of them at my house. So I tell everybody like, okay, if you want it to be a present, like it has to be in by December 1st or it's not going to be in time for the holidays, like whatever date you need it by, it's gotta have to be in by December 1st. So between November and December 1st to maybe like pretty much the end of the year, I still have people asking me now if they can buy my calendar and it's the middle of the year. Like you'd miss 90% of it. Right. So, yeah.
And you can still do it?
I can still do it. Like I basically have all the, everything's like, uploaded into my printers. Like they already have all the images for me. So I literally just like click a new order and they'll be like, okay. And they ship it from there and I don't have to do anything, which was really helpful this year because, I basically also last year stopped like sending stuff out for, like from me. I was like, if I have to like have something printed and shipped to me and then me touch it and then me send it back like through the post office. There's a lot of hands coming in contact. And I really didn't even feel comfortable doing that at all during COVID.
Because of COVID, right?
Yeah, I basically stopped sending stuff like from my shop. And then so the situation was like, if I'll print it from the printer and have it sent directly to you instead of coming to me at all. And I'd like,
so I was wondering,
try to prevent it as much
how
as possible.
You do when you have to send from you don't send it from, like you don't put your home address, right?
No, I have a business
bunch
address.
Of stalkers there knocking your door or
can you imagine
camping outside.
I don't remember who it was, but I have a friend, I want to say she's in California, who said she has a P.O. box and she had a situation where like somebody was like waiting at her post office, I guess, and a person said, like, I guess they called her and they were like, just want to let you know there's like somebody that's like clearly waiting here. She was like, cool, I'm not coming then. I don't know what the situation, I don't know if she moved to a different P.O. box or whatever, but she was like, they knew that's where whatever was going to be. So they were waiting for her. Have you
any kind of problems like stalkers? Like, I don't know, you eating in a restaurant and suddenly you receive a photo of somebody like across the table, like, I'm here looking at you.
No.
And then the same person sent another, I'm here in the supermarket looking at you.
Can you imagine?
Like,
no.
Oh my God.
I have not had that happen. I've really like, if I get recognized, it's usually at like tattoo conventions. I've had 2 also at Comic-Con, which I thought was really funny because I was dressed up as somebody else, and I was like, that's so weird that you would know it was me under there. But
probably you post a photo right before that, or
sometimes
something?
I'll tell people I'm going, but I usually don't like say what my costume is until I'm there. I usually like kind of surprise it last minute because I have people like guess like what am I going to be.
Yeah, I told you earlier. I have quite a few clients that they're like, oh my God, I can't believe that you know Stephanie Marazzo. Oh, I'm like, yeah, she's an awesome girl.
That's
oh my
so
God,
weird.
she's a sweetheart. No, she's a sweetheart. She looks like.
Oh my God, tell me.
No, she's awesome. Yeah, so they start like, you have to tell me next time she comes.
Oh my God.
I have a couple of close friends already, because I talked to them for so long that they become friends. I got a couple of those that they're gonna be so mad at me. How you hired in your podcast studio? You didn't tell me anything.
I mean, I don't mind meeting people, but like the scenario of somebody being like, don't tell her I'm coming. And then like they show up and pretend like, oh my God, you're here. Like that's weird. I've never had that happen, I don't think. No. But that sounds funny to me.
If that ever happened that one of my clients said, like, let me know, whatever, I would first let you know, it's okay with you. You say yes. I say, okay, it's okay with her. You can come and say hi. I would never do that like just show up there and pretend that you didn't know. Yeah.
No, we've had times where we had some like 2 or 3 people come in while I was getting tattooed just to say hi. But they're like people like you've worked on before. They're not just like random people who are just like, just let me know like when she comes by.
Probably, I think once you post something that you were getting tattooed and somebody show in the shop, like, oh, right, I was in the neighborhood. I just came back to say, oh, wait, is that you, Stephanie? And like, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I am back here.
I know.
Can't really hide in the shop. I know nobody's ever been like weird before. I've had people like just shout my name in random locations before. That's been weird. But like places at like tattoo conventions or if I'm like going to like an appearance or something, like I'm already like in the mindset that somebody's gonna know who I am. So that's not weird to me when people like say my name and I'm like turn around and they like know who I am. That's fine. But like I had somebody like shout to me like at a gas station before and somebody at the mall once. Yeah. And he like recognized me but didn't say my name, but he like made sure to like kind of get in my path so he could like see me better. And then he like went online after and was like, I definitely just saw you. Are you at you're like a whatever mall right now? And I was like, yes.
Oh, I wanted to ask you that. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Do you read your messages? And Instagram, let's say every time you post a photo, you get what, like 500 messages?
I don't like so DMs.
50,000 likes.
Do you mean or comments?
Comments. Let's start with comments.
I can't read necessarily all of them, but like when you log in, you have like your update. It'll tell you, oh, you have however many likes and comments since the last time you logged in. So like I'll scroll through that. Whatever is like currently in the news feed usually is what I see.
Because you comment in some of your stuff.
I do try and chat. And there's a lot of people that like I recognize their username or their photo after a while. So like there's a lot of people that I like purposefully try to make sure I interact with because they interact with me or they've been there for a long time and like obviously appreciate them. So I comment to a lot of people specifically. But like there's a lot of random comments. I'll get like questions about like where I'll be or who does your work? I answer that all the time. I tag you constantly.
That's how I realize because I get that notification when you shout me out. When you tag my name.
Anytime somebody asks, I try and tag. And then I had somebody ask about the one Allie did the other day, and there are comments that I see and I respond to that's just a random person to me. Like I don't recognize them, but I have it set up because I have a business page. I'm sure you could probably do it too. That like random people can't send me a direct message. Only like people I follow back can.
No, I don't. I don't receive that many.
Oh, well, you can. Well, I mean, obviously yours. I think strangers would need to contact you for tattoo appointments. But like, so there was you remember when they first set up message requests in your DM? You remember that? That's only like a year or so old.
Meaning that they go like to a separate, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got that. So.
Yes.
I don't have a blog. I just receive a lot of messages there. And in the main one, I receive mostly from people that already kind of messaged me before or we interact before.
So you have, there's like 2 folders. There's one that's like I think it's main.
Let's call it main. Uh-huh.
So you can kind of decide where you want a message to show up. But like I have turned off message requests. So random people can't try and send me a message basically on Instagram. Just because you also get a lot of spam through there. For a while, I was just getting like random tattoo pages or shout out pages being like, oh, pay for a shout out or whatever. So it's just like a blurb that they copy paste to everybody, and you would just like delete each one. But like, you do get random weirdos in there. And so those all used to come into your main messenger right there. But now they have it set up with requests where you can see the message before you ever say yes or no to answering it. So I just turned that off. So only my friends, only people I follow back can message me.
I think
you can have it set up different ways. Like you can have it.
For me, if people that don't follow me and send me messages, it shows there mostly, or a lot of scams or stuff like that.
Yeah, probably.
Those kind of scammy pages.
There's different settings that you can have too. Where like, because I know, I think it's Heidi Levon is a friend of mine on there, and if I send her a message, sometimes I'll get back. She has like an automated message that she sends out. So I don't know if she gets every message that comes her way because of that. I'm not sure. But she had something that just kind of basically was like a business blurb being like, if you want to contact me for
blah, cool, yes.
Message me here or something. So or like maybe shout out prices or something. So I don't remember exactly what it said. But like sometimes I message her and I'll get that automated response. So I would assume with that, every person can message you. But you can set it up so that only your friends can. You can set it up so that I don't think you can get any. I don't remember exactly how you set that, but it's just randomly in your settings.
Because also a lot of the settings, like it changed. Like sometimes you have to be certified to get some of those things. Sometimes you have to have over a certain amount of followers to get certain stuff. And like
the
that.
Swipe up.
Like the swipe up.
Yeah, swipe up and your link is 10,000. Yeah.
Because I get that one, but I don't get some other ones. Plus, also sometimes you have to not be personal, but be business.
A business account, versus a personal. Gives different
and I think
stuff.
it's one more option, or not? I don't remember.
I think they have one that's like basically almost like a creator account also too. That's something they've stolen off TikTok, I think.
Oh, okay.
As a creator versus just like your regular personal page. So somebody who is like a human being, not a business, but not just your regular normal human being. Somebody who's doing something specific. So somebody who's, I don't know, a skateboarder who's like famous. He is technically not a business, but he represents himself. He can set it to being a creator account instead of him saying this is my personal account. You know what I mean?
It makes sense. Yeah, my nephew was telling me a little bit about it, but I didn't check more into it.
I know, they're constantly updating it anyway. I get so many random moments where I'm looking at it. I'm like, what is that now? Why is that different? And it's just like slightly off from the last time I looked at it. Like I had something the other day where it asked me if I wanted to try monotonizing my reels. And I was like, they're going to start adding commercials to reels.
Wow.
And I was like, why? Why would you do that?
But meaning that they're going to put commercials in between reels, or they're going to send you product to show?
I think it's in your video. So the same way like YouTube is, you're like halfway through somebody's video.
Oh, yeah.
A random commercial pop up, and they get paid however many times people like watch through that whole video to go to the next thing. So they're going to do that on Instagram apparently now. I just saw it like 2 weeks ago. It asked me and I was just like, pass. Like I don't make like long reels anyway. Like
that's what I was thinking. Most of the reels are super short.
Some of them are short, yeah, but they also are trying to prevent people from like just reposting their stuff from other apps. Apparently that's like a problem I saw that they were like, so like I've been doing, I'm on TikTok, so I'll just repost a TikTok video to my Instagram as a reel because it's that size. It's the portrait size versus if you try to post it in your feed, it has that weird square liking shape. So if you post it as a reel, you get the whole video in there. But then also everything on like TikTok is like under 60 seconds for the most part. You can make slightly longer videos now. But I think most people were doing that when they had like IGTV came out. And so you could put like, I don't know. I think it has to be over a minute to be an IGTV video.
I don't really know all those.
There's it's just weird shit that they're doing to try to like keep you on the app.
Because I also think that to be able to make longer videos in TikTok maybe or Reel or IG, I don't know, you have also to have like certain amount of followers or whatever. So then you can kind of
I can make a video up to 3 minutes, I think, on TikTok. But like most people, I think, can only do 60 seconds, I guess. But I've never had to make a video that was 3 minutes long. So I've never used it. But also, like, if I did that, I don't know how many people would like watch to the end of a 3-minute video anyway. Like if I'm scrolling through TikTok and I get to a video that's just like keeps going, I'm like, all right, bye. I've already lost my interest. Like,
yeah, that
for them to put a commercial in the middle of it, like I cannot understand how that would go. Like, who's gonna sit and watch? Like, what are you doing on Instagram that they're watching?
It depends. I watch painters, so they show you like that step by step or whatever they do. Sometimes you're interested to let me see how those brush strokes.
You want to see how it ends or something,
or how you go from this to this part and then to this, but whatever.
Well, it's definitely something with like maybe a final product at the end, like a painting. But also like if I made that, I would do that in like short clips, just like.
Oh no, they are short clips. Yeah.
Well, you've done like live videos or something of. Have you done a few painting? I definitely have seen you doing it tattooing. But have you done it with
No, not paintings. I haven't done anything with painting. I did back in the day. Before I was a tattoo artist, I did it with paintings. So I had
I feel like I've seen
few paintings in YouTube.
Oh, maybe that's where I watched it.
Yeah, I have a few paintings.
But you almost did like what is basically like a time lapse video.
What I used to do was like time lapse. Is that the word? Like I take
from start to finish, but
speed up.
Yes, time lapse video. Yes.
So I did like 90 minutes paintings or 2-hour paintings or whatever, and put it like in a 10-second video, not 10 seconds, but like a minute or something.
Right, and that keeps somebody's interest. Like I don't want to watch 90 minutes of somebody painting necessarily. Like think of like Bob Ross. He's on TV.
He was the whole time, and people watching.
And he's keeping you interested the whole time. He's chatting, he's doing all kinds of things.
He's a sweetheart, right?
Right, but you can watch that as somebody who's not painting and be interested and just keep watching because you're seeing what he's doing. He keeps it all. It's all under 30 minutes. Like he's only really painting for like 25 minutes maybe, right? So it's nice and compressed in that sense. Like I could easily watch something like that if they were gonna put like a little series together and they were gonna have commercials in the middle of that. Like that I could see.
Yeah.
But if you were gonna have like somebody just posting all the videos they post on TikTok to their Instagram to tell you to go to their TikTok, and halfway through like a 30-second video, an ad popped up, I'd be like, hell no.
I know.
No, absolutely not. I wouldn't watch it at all. I don't even interact with ads to begin with. I report every ad that comes up as spam, so I get less of them.
Oh, that's a good idea. I gotta try to do the same. So annoying, right?
I don't know if you've seen it yet. Like if I go to Andrew's on his Facebook, I've told him this so many times and he hates it. But like, he also does like Snapchat with his family. He has like a family account, so they snap back and forth. But he like follows a couple little like mini series that are on Snapchat, I guess. And he watches something. There's a commercial every like 18 seconds. It just like, and then it'll be like boop, 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 boop. And then it pops back to the video and keeps going. And I'm like, how do you watch that? Like that would drive me insane.
I know.
And then he'll be on Facebook and it's like something his family posted and then like 4 ads in a row. And then that like Facebook page he watches and then 2 more ads. And I'm like, wow, why is your page look like that? If I go to Facebook, there's no ads in there right now.
How? Because
I report everything as spam, and it stops sending me stuff. And I also go into your settings, and you go to your ad settings, and it'll tell you things that it thinks you're interested in. I clear those out all the time, so all of them are blocked. So like every like month or so, I'll have a day where I log in and I'll see ads right away, and then I just won't go on all day, and then the next day it's gone. Wow. It goes back to being a normal feed, and then so on Instagram, like you know how now it's set up like every like fifth thing down, I think, from the top is an ad. It'll tell you as sponsored. I report that as spam and keep going.
It amazes me how much you know about that.
I'm just on it constantly. It's like where all my stuff is, so I can't.
That's why I always bother you, Stephanie. How do I do for this? Yeah. Stephanie, how do I do for that?
You're welcome to. I'm always happy to help.
Thank you.
But yeah, it's just like constant ads on his stuff. If I look at it for more than a few minutes, I'm just like, but can't handle it.
So. You have plans for soon traveling to any conventions or stuff, or you're still waiting to see what happened with COVID?
Yeah, we just basically finished up in Florida doing like, I think they're already kind of back to like full capacity at places, but like, so they just kind of opened that back up. Like I know Amalie Arena, I think is supposed to hold like 20,000 people or something. and they've only had like 14 in it.
That's that the arena where you go to watch hockey?
Yes. So usually
hockey fans.
we
What
would
do you think?
The Lightning.
The Lightning?
Tampa Bay Lightning, and his team is Chicago Blackhawks.
Okay.
So, but we usually we like to sit in the 300s, like over the goalie.
Mm-hmm.
Like we like to sit on the twice side. So if we can sit on the glass, we will, but we prefer like just be like right in the 300s on like the very top of the balcony. You can see everything clearly up there. The arena's set up super nice. We love that arena anyway. But through this season, like pre-games, I don't think they had anything live. I don't think they had anything in the preseason, but they were doing they have watch parties. So outside of Amalie Arena, they have like a big screen that is projected off of a parking garage next door. And they usually set up chairs and stuff, and people can watch outside, and they have like a little bar set up. So it's like cute, but there's only really room for maybe like 100 people to sit out there. So they kind of had that going, but they got the idea. I don't know who floated this, is genius, but they've been doing watch parties inside the arena. So on away games, you can spend $10 and you go sit like anywhere on the bottom floors, and they put the game on the TV like live. So everybody in there, instead of watching it at home, is watching it together in the arena. And so like if we get a goal, all the like the alarms and everything go off, like it's live, but you're watching it on the big screen.
That for the games that in another city.
Yeah, those are the away games. And then they're basically, I don't know if they're back open to full. I can't remember if I saw it on the TV the other day we were watching. They just had a game the other day. But, oh no, they were away the other day. So now I'm not sure. But for the couple games we've been to, they've only had the first and the second story of seating open. So 300s have been closed like the entire time. Oh, wow. So I think once I see people sitting up there again is when I assume it'll be back to normal capacity. But like we haven't really been trying to like go out. Like we just are finishing up with our vaccines. So we haven't really been going out and about where everybody is. Just sort of getting back into stuff. But we went to a couple of the watch parties with the masks for a while, but now you don't even need them on the main floor now. So maybe we'll go. But the game, like the home games are like $200 a ticket or something right now for like the cheapy seats at the top, and we're like, pass. We'll just watch that at home. I know. As it goes more into the like playoffs, we're like, I think this one's game 5 of our current matchup. So the next 2 are at home, and they'll both be like $200, $300 a seat up at the wow. Top.
Crazy.
I know.
I went once to watch a game of hockey here in Bridgeport, right? And we were sitting by the glass. I couldn't comprehend how they get to see the puck. That thing goes so fast.
So fast, yeah.
Like I'm not a fan of the sport. I don't know much. I just have to. I have watched a couple of movies that ducks whatever, like a couple of movies, that's all. And a couple of 2 minutes time on TV of the sport itself, more to see the fights. So right. I don't know anything about it, right? Okay. So I went there. It's pretty much like soccer. It's a goalie and somebody has to make a goal. That's all, right? And escapes instead of running around on grass. But anyway, kind of similar concept.
Similar. And just, it's a team effort more than it is like...
And a team effort and all of that. So I kind of understood. I said, let's go and watch it, right? For the experience. Yeah. I couldn't comprehend. First, those guys are super fast on those skates. Really and they stop like nothing and go in the other direction like nothing. They skate
so quick.
I know I sound like very ignorant. Somebody that follows the sport is like, dude, that's normal what you're talking about. But for me, like
they
first
are,
time,
though. They are super fast. Like there are some that
it's
like
so natural to them. They
really,
skate
truly.
backward, sides, front.
You literally
everything.
like follow the puck, and then like suddenly somebody who was like way back at the line is suddenly like right on top of it behind the net. And you're like, how did he get there? First of all,
they hit it hard, and you're like, where it went? You just you have to see where everybody start skating. Oh, the puck might be there.
Well, there's also moments where like you can see like the goalie loses it. Like the people are standing in the way, and it's moving too fast, and he's looking over there, and when it's like coming, and you're like, oh, wow. That one's going in. And we had the other night. Oh my god. Well, we lost, but just barely. Like they completely like didn't do anything in the first and the second, but in the third. They were up 3-0, I think, and Tampa scored first, like, right into the third. And And then like maybe 5 minutes later, they got a second. We were like, okay, if they get one more, they can like tie it up and we'll go into overtime, which would have been like kind of an amazing end of the game because the first half was super boring. So everybody's like kind of on the edge of their seat as they're going in these like final few minutes. So they pull the goalie in the last couple minutes usually so that you have one extra player on the ice. But then that means your net is open in case they send it back. So like they're keeping it down there. We didn't get scored on empty net, thank God. But we were like literally in the last 10 seconds, they're trying to make a play happen. And they give it to one guy and he like could have kind of maybe flipped it up, but he decided he didn't like have like a great hold on it. So he kind of did like a little flip turnaround, and he tried to kind of just like lob it in, and their goalie was like all the way out of their net, and we were like, literally like 3, 2, 1, and one of their other players, Pollock, just dives in front of the net and caught it like in the literal last second of the game. Like we almost scored it up. Oh my God. I was like, that hurt. We were just like, son of a bitch. Like, oh my God, it was so close. And that would have been nice to be able to see it go into overtime. I don't think we've had overtime in the playoffs so far. I don't remember. Last year we had like so many overtimes that like our first game went into like 8 overtimes or something. Like something unbelievable. Like it's never happened before. It was like the longest overtime or something like that in years. It was like legitimately like 8 more, I think 8. And I think we ended up winning that kind of by accident also. We just like, people were literally just taking shots at that point, just like anybody who got the puck was just like anywhere it's going. Wow. Hopefully it goes in the goal. Because it was just so long. They've been on the ice for like 2 hours or something like that. Like, the amount of time they spend out there is already crazy, but.
Let me ask you, you do calendars and you do your business with Instagram and the shout outs and stuff. You do anything else like merchants? You sell any other kind of merchants?
I sell like posters and prints randomly during the year that are just like on my site all the time.
And you sell them through Instagram or on your website?
On my website.
What is your website?
StephanieMarazzo.com.
Just in case, So, entrepreneur, right? Entrepreneur, that's the word, entrepreneur? The person who make business?
Entrepreneur. You got it.
Entrepreneur.
I'm pretty sure that's another French word. We've had time with that today. You and I.
Tattoo model, right? Hockey fan. Fanatic.
These are like my hobbies, I guess.
Comic-Con fanatic.
Tattoo
convention enthusiast.
Yeah,
enthusiast.
I get paid to go there.
Nice.
The tattoo ones usually. I've got paid for the last 2 Comic-Cons I went to too, but I do go to those as just like something I enjoy doing. But I guess I'm kind of like all over the place money-wise. Though, I mean, 2020 was like super hard for everybody, I'm pretty sure.
I know.
A lot of the like stuff that was coming in during 2020 was a lot of my like shout-out pages, which I think like other people also just trying to keep follower count up and interactions up while they're struggling also with their pages. I had a lot of people doing, what do you call that? Like I do like brand promotion on my page. So I had people doing like reoccurring posts where I'd like post their business or their brand, like t-shirts and things. Like for a whole month I was posting multiples. And that was like bringing money in. And I was just like, I feel bad because I know like they're struggling. Like they're like, I need to do something to sell more, but they have to like give me money first. So I'm like, I want to help. I do want to help. I also need money. So it was just like, it was real rough in 2020, I think, for a lot of people, but made it.
It's okay. Now you can find some of those people that were kind of supporting you through those moments and supporting themselves through you and give them something extra after. Now the storm is a little better. You can give them extra little shout outs.
People who like send me stuff like repeatedly. Like I have a friend of mine in Florida has a clothing business she started called Salt Cured. And I have gotten merchandise from her multiple times. She sends me stuff whenever she's got it. And I wear the crap out of it. I like wear this. She gave me this hat that I love. And I have a tank top that I just like wear weekly. And I'll take random selfies or something in them. And I always like send them to her. I'm like, just use these. These are just yours now. So like
What is the company name?
Salt Cured. It's like kind of based on like Salt Life. Do you know what that is in the South? So like same kind of vibe. It's very like beachy. Like long tank tops that are like really thin though, so they'll dry out over your bathing suit. And she's got like the hats and men's t-shirts, and she does like she crochets bikinis, so she does like custom bikinis and stuff, and she has like such cute stuff. So cute. And she has she's also super tattooed. So she has a lot of like tattoo artists like design things for her t-shirts and stuff. So like they're all like very unique looking. So I love her stuff.
Shout out to so cute
Shout
too.
out. And so like that's somebody like I wear her stuff randomly, and if I get a picture of it, I'll send it to her. I like want her to know. I had my hat with me when I did the backpacking thing last week, and I sent her a video of me with it on, and she was like, "That hat has made it everywhere." I was like, "Yes, it has."
You were backpacking for a week, right? You say?
Yeah.
With your sister?
Yeah.
Wow, cool.
So cool.
How Stephanie Marazzo stay humble?
Stay humble. I don't know.
Like people get that wrong impression that, you're a celebrity or something like that, right? You're a model or whatever. And I keep telling to the people that reach me because, they see the post or whatever, or sometimes it's random. You post something in your page and you mention my name. It might be that people is reading all the messages, but they're like, Javier, this girl give you a shout out for the tattoo, whatever. You know her, you tattoo her, whatever. People that know you, right? Mm-hmm. Every time I say to people, she's a sweetheart. She's just like next door girl. That's what you say in English, right?
Girl next door, yes.
Girl next door kind of thing. She's just a nice person. She's just a sweetheart. She's just a nice girl. People don't believe it. Like, no. That's because you're friend, but she's, no, she's nice. No. But she got balls. So if you come to her rude, she's going to take no chance to stop you right in place.
Accurate. But I mean, I don't think it's ever occurred to me that I'm like, somebody that people would recognize. Even when like I have been recognized, it doesn't like register necessarily as like something that doesn't happen to most people, I guess. And I've never like, considered myself to be, I still don't think I am like a famous person. My mom will like make jokes sometimes and tell people like, oh, my daughter's like famous.
You have about 1 million followers counting all your social media stuff to this. So
probably, but like, it doesn't, that's to me, like that's not a lot. Do you know what I mean? Like it's a lot for somebody just starting out or, who's been working at their page and hasn't really seen like success necessarily. But like, I send people your way all the time. But like,
I know.
Yeah,
I
like,
appreciate it.
I'm sure. There are people out there who like see my page and they think like, wow, like that page is doing like super well. And like, I really don't try it at this point. Like my Instagram, like I think at the beginning of like, so especially last year, like I kind of really stopped using Instagram for the most part. Like I that's where my biggest platform is, just because I've been on that the longest. And I know a lot of my fans and followers there. So like I get on there to interact, but I'm really not posting all that much. Like, cause I just like, I kind of hate the platform at this point. I'm so tired of it. But like I lost maybe like 15,000 followers last year just because I stopped posting. And if I do post, it's kind of just like random shit that I feel like posting at this point. I've stopped posting like real work necessarily. Like I'm just like, here's a fucking picture of my dog. Like I don't care. And they like, you'll lose followers that way because you're not keeping up like consistently with what you're posting anyway. Or in general, if I'm not posting like consistently throughout the weeks, you'll lose some people. But like that doesn't really bother me. So I think like in my brain, I'm like, I lost 15,000 people, but like that's a lot of people, but it's not, because I still have like 500,000 followers. But there are people who like will never get 15,000. Like so like I don't know. It still doesn't like register to me as like.
How many Instagram pages you have right now?
Pictures?
No, pages. Instagram accounts. Because I remember you had trouble with one of them, right? That they closed it for a while.
That's my main one. Yeah, that got accidentally shut down for a bit. What is that called? Deactivated. I had like it had been flagged for something. So, but when they deactivate your account, like they don't tell you necessarily what it's for. It just says that it goes against their community guidelines. So there was a day like I just like I was on it in the morning, and then when I went to check it later in the afternoon, I was like logged out, and I was like, that's weird. Like I never log out. So I went to check it, and it said I couldn't log in. It said not blocked, but something like you can't access this account. And I was like, what the hell is that? And this is like kind of back when Facebook first purchased Instagram. So the way I ended up finally getting that back, like it took me months. I had a backup page at the time, and it only had like 2,000 followers when I started it. But I was like, I'll just move everything to that page and just continue from there, because there was nothing really else I could do. Wow. Some people start from scratch. So at least I had like a little bit of following, and people kind of recognized right away that they couldn't find my page anymore. So they went looking for me. So there was that, at least helped. But the way I ended up getting around it is when I first got on Facebook to make a fan page, they wanted you to set up like an ads profile, even if you like don't buy ads or whatever. It makes you like fill out the information or something like that. And I had gotten an email when I did that confirming something, and it was like a service email, something like that. And I had tried to report it. Like you can report a deactivation, like a mistaken deactivation to Instagram, but they never respond to you. Nobody gets back to you. There's no like human interaction on that end whatsoever. So like there are so many people that have happened to, and they never hear back anything, even though they actually didn't do anything wrong. Which was my situation. And I had I hadn't done anything wrong. Like I don't post like anything that would even get taken down necessarily. So I was able to contact that email from Facebook, and I just started like messaging them every day. I kept like copy pasting the same thing, and it would be like, we're Facebook, like we're not obviously connected to Instagram and whatever. And I would be like, but you know who is, and all it takes is one of you to forward it to somebody. So like, just do that.
Oh,
like,
but you weren't getting response.
I was getting like technically a human response. It would be like a different person's name under it every time it came back. It'd be like Brian said blah, but I'd be like, just forward it to whoever it needs to get to. And I did that for like almost a month. I think like 6 or 7 months after my account had been deleted. But finally somebody was like, "Okay, we're gonna do this." They were like, "We're gonna forward it to some upper person in the ads." So it's ads department in Facebook. So they forwarded it to some guy who's like, I guess would be like a manager in that scenario. And he's like, "Okay, I'm gonna take over this until we figure it out, I guess. So like, stop emailing the other people." I was like, "Okay." So he forwarded what I said to somebody from Instagram, and they got back to him and they said, "Okay, so it was deactivated for whatever terms and conditions." And I said, "So that's not true. That I didn't do anything. Nothing was removed from my page. It's not like I got a warning or something. Like usually if you get something removed, it'll tell you that it did and why."
And then first will knock down the post itself rather than the whole account.
Right, the whole account. So I said, "That never happened, and I don't know what you're talking about," basically. So figure it out. And he sent it back. And then they contacted me separately from him. And they were like, "Okay, what was your account again? And what was your email?" And I had to like figure out, I couldn't even remember like which email I had set that account up with because I hadn't logged in so long. And I was like, "I think it's this one, something. And they finally like figured it out. And as soon as they contacted me, like within hours, my account was back on. And I was like, "What the fuck?" Right? So they finally like sent me an email and they were like, "Our bad, basically. Your account was mistakenly deactivated. Should be fine now. You're welcome."
Wow.
And I was like, "All right, fuck you," but thanks. And then the original Facebook guy messaged me again and was like, "So I've been told like the issue's been taken care of. Like, sorry, but also like good luck," right? And I was like, "Thank you so much for your help. Like, obviously, I couldn't have done it otherwise because Instagram just does not respond to people. They don't. And I don't think Facebook does anymore either because they're like there are times now where I get like an automated response from that same email that's like, "This email is like no longer in service," or something. And I'll be like, "I didn't even anything." Right. But like if I had a problem now, like if it happened again, like there's no way that goes to a person anymore. Wow. Like they've completely updated everything in the last couple of years. So like any problem you have is only ever going to get to an automated message. They do that on Facebook specifically, like to send you in a loop. Like there's a lot of times you'll be like, "What is the problem?" And you click the problem and then it'll take you like another page and they'll be like, "Does this solve your problem?" No. And then it'll just take you another page. And so there's no point at anything where you can even like message, even like a bot to ask. Like,
I know.
It's
nothing. Crazy. Yeah. I don't know, because it's a huge company. It should have...
Yeah, they have no customer service.
It should have robots, it's okay, but you have people in somewhere. Like, you try to communicate with Amazon and you get to talk to people.
Yeah, people.
Super easy. So the process always 100%. Get the problem solved in no time.
Or it'll go like, if you're buying from like a third party source, it like, not only does it send your email to that third party source, but then Amazon like will send you a separate email and be like, "Let us know if they get back to you." And you're like, "Yeah."
It happened to me once.
Yes. So
super
like
easy.
For Instagram to be like, here's a platform where people have like literally millions of followers and we're going to like accidentally shut down your account and then never tell you anything. It's so crazy.
I guess Instagram is so big and probably they were receiving so many messages from kids like, "Why I have so little 5 followers? I don't have 1,000 or whatever."
Like, there should be a process. But like they have
like, or at least for like business accounts or after a certain amount of followers. It should be
something that you should be able to get get.
It's a business.
Yes, it is. And when you have your deactivated account, like I said, you can not like necessarily like appeal it, but there's like a link where they're like, do you think we did this mistakenly? Let us know. And you could click that and fill that out a million times, and it never gets to a person. It's just a thing to keep you thinking, like, maybe. Wow. Basically, it's just like, it's like play. I know. This is here to make it look like we'll do something, but it doesn't go anywhere.
So when you're giving those grandkids to your mom, I'm kidding. Can you imagine? She's waiting.
She is, long. But not.
And she deserves it. She's been a good mom.
I know.
She did a great job with you.
I know. She's like.
I'm sure with your siblings too, but I don't know them in person.
She wants one, but watch, like I'll have one and I'll just like leave it at her house, and she'll be like, I did want this, but also take this kid back now. Like,
but that's the whole point. At this point, that's the idea.
No, I'm just gonna be like, you wanted this
kid. You wanted it.
Here it is. Yeah, you take care of it now. I'll be at my house sleeping.
Of her? Or something. Oh, you're expecting a girl? I mean, not expecting, but
I would think.
Thinking.
My family's all females, so I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. But Andrew is one of multiple boys, so I mean, it could really go either way on that.
But he's mixed. I mean, he
has one sister. And his family's a mixed family. He has some step siblings, so he has another sister. But his actual sister is just one of 4 kids, and the rest of them are boys. So, in my family is 3 girls. So like it's really a toss up. He also said he has like a high chance of twins or something in his family, and I was like, please don't do that to me. Please no.
Stephanie, we have to get out of here.
Oh my God, I know. We have to go to the airport.
We have to drive you to the airport.
We got places to be.
I know. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for jumping to the idea of doing this.
Coming up here
and always being there supporting my craziness and
as stuff. Much as like you do so many like cool projects, like I'm happy to help, obviously, but I just want to support.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You are awesome. Super awesome.
Thank you.
Let's get out of here.
Let's go to the airport. You're so excited to drive.
I know, right?
You can't wait.
All right. Traffic, I hate you.
It's the worst.
Stephanie, thank you.
Thank you.
You are awesome.
Bye.
Bye.